Podcasting. I'm your host, Mike Dinwiddie, also known as Mike Nificent, and I'm with my co-host, Liz.
Also known as Liz.
Anyway, we're in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, anticipating Trump, who will be arriving shortly. He'll be taking the stage about 7 p.m., and he's going to be delivering a speech to a packed house. We got a crowd here at this airport hangar. I believe it's an airport hangar that we're at, and we're just anticipating his arrival.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike. We're excited to be here in Winston-Salem. This is one of the states that's going to be a heavy push for the Trump campaign to secure victory. Coming for this 2020 presidential election, we can expect to see President Trump here again and possibly some visits from Biden if he decides to leave his basement. We will see about that. We have a heavy week ahead. We're really excited to jump back in here and finally get campaigning for this. We've waited a long time with COVID coming through and having us sit back for a good bit. But again, busy week ahead for the Trump campaign, and we will be at all of the events. Let me list some of them out, get some excitement going, make sure that you've got them written down on your calendars. And hopefully, if you are nearby one of these cities, you can get out and help show your support for President Trump. Today, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It is Tuesday. President Trump will be speaking at 7 p.m. On Thursday, he will be in Freeland, Michigan. He'll be speaking at 7 p.m. there again. That's Freeland, Michigan on Thursday. On Saturday, President Trump will speak at 4:30 in Reno, Nevada. And on Sunday, President Trump will speak at 7 p.m. in Las Vegas, Nevada. So if you're out there on the West Coast and some of those are driving distance to you, Brightside Broadcasting Network hopes that we can see some of you there. We're really excited. This is very expensive. This is going to be one of the biggest investments we have so far, just really jumping straight into this campaign push, starting off with multiple stops per week. But we're excited. So this is where your donations come in handy. Again, we are almost entirely viewer funded, meaning we rely on your donations to get us to go from rally to rally, location. It is expensive. If you're curious, well, where does my money go to? It goes to so many things, whether it be hiring new talent. Here we have Mike Nificent. We're so excited. A lot of you were able to see him with Zoe this weekend in D.C. at the Trump-Tilla boat parade, where they covered it live. They were one of the very few news networks that were actually doing that. So hiring new talent, travel, this actually takes the majority of our donations because it's very expensive to book flights with little notice. We find out from the campaign with maybe 2 or 3 days in advance, and a lot of the times these flights are very expensive. So most of the donations goes towards getting us on flights, rental cars, hotels, food, and a lot. Guys, these cameras, you're a YouTuber, so you know what it's like to invest in equipment, but it's absolutely insane. It's so expensive to fight against the mainstream media, but we've been going strong for 4 years now, so it's worked so far. You guys have made it happen. We hope that you'll help us finish strong. Let's get President Trump a seat in that Oval Office for 4 more years. I'm going to hand it back to Mike. I do want to give a shout out to Trisha Hopes. I saw her a second ago out in the crowd. Again, that's Trisha Hopes. I really hope that's her name. I think it is. But she's the author of Just the Tweets. It's a great book. We've seen it at many of the rallies. So it's a really simple idea, but a brilliant one. It literally just archives all of President Trump's tweets from the very beginning since he took office, and they're pretty much gold. They're so fun to read. So if you're interested in that, you can Google it, Just the Tweets by Trisha Hope. She's been a great view of Right Side for so long now. So, Mike, do you mind telling the viewers what they missed if they didn't tune in to the boat parade, how it made you feel, what today has been like for you, and what are you really thinking for 2020? What's to come?
Yeah, so Sunday was an incredible day out in the beautiful Washington, D.C. weather. I was on the Potomac River with Zoe, another one of our great correspondents, and we participated in a Trump boat parade. You know, the atmosphere was enthusiastic. You had a lot of patriots out on the water with their boats, with their Trump flags, just enjoying the weather. You know, Labor Day weekend is a great time to soak up some sunshine, some nice weather before fall kicks in. And, you know, there was no shortage of Americans out there showing their love for President Trump. They had flags, they had their boat horns, there was music. Zoe and I had a great time. We had a blast on a boat, and you know, it was choppy, lots of wind, lots of waves, and we just really enjoyed it. It's very enthusiastic. That's what you get with President Trump. You get a lot of enthusiasm. People are excited and energized by this president and his accomplishments. He's made promises and he's kept those promises, and that's why we have yet another packed house here in North Carolina. We anticipate that the president will have a very loud thunderous applause when he comes in on Air Force One. We're excited to bring it to you guys live here, so make sure that you're tuned in. Also, as Liz said earlier, we are 100% viewer funded. Please make sure that you are donating, because that helps us come to these events and bring on more staff, because he's really going to be kicking it into high gear, guys. I can't stress enough how important it is that you guys donate and support us any way that you can, so that we can continue to bring you these events live. It's a very exciting event out here. As you can see, we have a very full house. It's very, very exciting. Lots of people from all walks of life. It's a very diverse crowd here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We've been out here for a couple hours. It was extremely hot, but luckily we've got some cloud cover now to kind of bring us some relief from the heat. I would say there's probably about 2,000 to 3,000 people here. It actually holds a lot more than we previously thought. I thought there wouldn't hold as many people, but it looks like there's probably about 2,000 to 3,000 people up here in front that you can see, and then behind us there's a large crowd, a lot of people in line, and then there's also people outside, overflow in the parking lot with a jumbotron, so they'll be able to see the president speak out there. We are very excited for the events ahead. As Liz said, we will be traveling to Freeland, Michigan. Beach on Thursday, so we're excited for that. And then this coming weekend we've got Las Vegas and Reno, and the events are just going to be back to back to back from here. So just stick with us here. Again, we are fighting against the mainstream media. The election, the polls have tightened between Trump and Joe Biden, who has not left his basement, only to lie on the president. It's the only time he leaves his basement. I think the most recent lie that I saw on Twitter is that, and I just tweeted it out actually a few minutes ago, that it's apparently Donald Trump who wants to defund the police. So that's what Joe Biden just said. And of course, his lapdogs in the media will not fact check him on that or take him to task. But yeah, apparently it's President Trump who wants to defund the police if you're talking to Joe Biden, which is absolutely insane and absurd. You know, Biden's running on a campaign of fear and free stuff and, you know, just despair. And Trump is running on hope and positivity and a strong economy, no wars, things like that. So those messages are very important to bring to swing states like the Tar Heel State, North Carolina, also Pennsylvania, Florida, Michigan, Nevada. These are states that are up for grabs, that it's going to be critical that Right Side Broadcasting is on the ground reporting live and bringing you guys coverage of Trump events. So please make sure that you are tuned in, guys. Very great crowd out here. So, Liz, what are your thoughts on Trump's chances with North Carolina and just how the polls have tightened over the last couple weeks, really, since the RNC?
Yeah, no, I think he's got great chances everywhere. The polls have tightened, especially in the last few days. Give or take, some actually have him in the lead, which is kind of unheard of when it comes to President Trump's polling. But in a lot of states, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, these are all states really that President Trump needs to win. It helps to secure his victory to the White House. So it is really imperative, important that he gets out here and campaigns. Despite knowing that he did way better in the polls than 2016 predicted, you can't do what Hillary did and get comfortable and sit back and rely on that and just trust your base to get out and vote. What President Trump is doing, and this is why I am very, I'd say, positive about the possible outcomes for 2020, is he's not relying on any of that. He is working so hard, obsessively hard, and unbelievably hard to get out and energize his base. I mean, he's got a official White House event in South Florida today. He's going over numerous economical, environmental regulations, talking about the Everglades. These are all big speeches. This is a big event, especially to go from D.C. on multiple. It's not like you just wake up, hop on a helicopter or something, go down. When it's President Trump, it's even one event is exhausting. You have to get Secret Service on board. The logistics, everything behind it is exhausting. Today, they're doing what they call a double stop. So it's Air Force One, the smaller of the two, but they're doing that whole event, and then they're coming straight to this one. I don't know about you, but I could maybe do one of these a week, and I'm 27 years old. I mean, it is absolutely, we get up here, and I can cover them. I love to do that, but as far as having the energy and the just commanding personality to draw in the supporters and to keep them entertained, Maybe I could do that once a week if I prepped really hard, but he's just such a natural when it comes to coming out and speaking to his supporters. He absolutely loves to do it. You could tell that through coronavirus. He did not want to just sit back and hide the way Joe Biden did. So President Trump is a fighter, and I think it's that attitude that's going to secure him 4 more years. Even today, I think it's one of the first times he's really talked about it publicly as far as 2020 campaign funds go. But he said, we do have a lot of money, but at the same time, we are about to blow up airwaves, TV, television ads, everything. We're going to push all that money from the campaign out there because it's so important to win this election. He said, and if they don't have enough money, for some reason, because they do have a lot of money, he wanted to really illustrate that, get that point across. He's going to put up his own money towards the campaign. I mean, that is millions and millions of dollars. It's truly insane to even imagine having that much, but this man wants to win so incredibly bad. I always thought I was a competitive person, but it's nothing. I'm literally such a loser when it comes to him and his President Trump's just fighting ability. So especially everything he's dealt with, it blows my mind that he still wants to put up with the personal attacks on himself and his family, the fake news media. But he's at the point where he's even willing to give up his own money for 4 more years of defending this country. So I think that, I'm rounding up this answer, but there's so much that goes into it. But I think that final fighting that he's willing to do shows how bad he wants it, and that he's going to campaign until he physically can't anymore, and I think he's going to win. That's a cool plane. It's all black. All right, what do you think about that answer? Agree, disagree, thoughts?
I couldn't agree more. The president must have a battery in his back. The way that he's able to hold event after event, he's up all night tweeting. Yeah, they're great. They're top notch.
People in a backyard on broken lawn chairs.
He does not stop. I mean, from tweeting to making speaking engagements, talking to the media. I mean, he's been like go every day since the beginning of the year, having to deal with the coronavirus, having to make special trips out to cities that have been destroyed by Joe Biden's voters. He's constantly making the rounds, and he's been the most selfless president that I've ever seen. I don't know about you, but I personally trust a president who was a millionaire before he took over politics than a president that... You used to?
And after seeing what President Trump has gone through, I don't wish that upon my worst enemy.
It's got to be one of the worst jobs in America, especially now with the way that... In the world, it's got to be. And yet he doesn't even take a salary. He donates his salary,
On top of that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, his opponent got rich off of politics, got his son rich, and apparently he thinks he's going to bring change. So, I mean, the contrast could not be more stark between President Trump and Joe Biden. The decision is so clear for who everyone should vote for. If they're using their brain, if they're just paying attention, if they want to preserve a free and prosperous sovereign nation that is the United States of America, it should be very obvious to vote for President Trump. He's going to work hard. He's been fighting for the American people. He hasn't started a war. I cannot stress that enough. The first president in my lifetime to not start a war. That is huge. In fact, he's bringing the troops home. He brought ISIS to heel. He's done a lot of things. Prison reform. We could go on and on and on about the accomplishments just in his first term, with the Democrats fighting him at every single term, trying to impeach him. You had the Russia scandal. You've got everything else, saying that he called the troops losers and suckers. They're just coming with hoax after hoax after hoax, and now they're saying it's actually him that wants to defund the police. It's just an endless circus with the media and with Joe Biden. But we are there right alongside President Trump, fighting against the lies and bringing you guys the truth, like showing you that in swing states like North Carolina, he has a huge turnout. There is real enthusiasm for this president. You're not going to see this for Joe Biden, even in a blue state. You could go to New York City right now. You're not going to see people walking around with Joe Biden T-shirts. They don't have Joe Biden lawn signs. They don't have Joe Biden flags because there's no enthusiasm. As I've told you guys many times, I like to say it a lot on my social media just because I'm very outspoken in that way. This election is all about Trump. Everybody's going to be voting Trump. The only thing is, are you voting for Trump or against him? Because nobody's voting for Joe Biden. This is the truth of the matter, and you can see it when you look at these crowds here. The crowds are just tremendous. Bumper stickers, yard signs, T-shirts, hats, lots of enthusiasm. The boat parade that Zoe and I were at on Sunday in Washington, D.C., I would say that there were maybe 150 to 200 boats, and those were just the boats that we could see around us. We were on, I want to say, at least a 10-mile stretch of river, the Potomac River in Washington, D.C., and we saw between 100 and 150 boats. And all those boats had probably 5 to 10 people on them. So if you tally that up, it's a lot of people just on one stretch of river in Washington, D.C. Not to mention you had boat parades all over the country in Oklahoma, Ohio, Texas, California, Florida. There is so much enthusiasm and support behind the president because America wants to win. We like the state of our country. Whether you're black, white, Asian, doesn't matter. We're united by our love of country and by our God-given rights, our freedoms, our sovereignty. So that's what President Trump is fighting to protect, and he's doing it around the clock. So what do we think, guys? What do you think about this crowd out here? People are gathering in here. As Liz scoots back in, sorry guys, bear with us here. Our tripod is a little high, so we got to kind of share a platform here. But yeah, there's a really huge turnout here. The weather, luckily, has gotten a little bit more overcasty, so we don't have to deal with the sun, which means we're going to get great shots. Going to be able to bring you guys great coverage out here today. You know, I also saw something yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, Liz. I tweeted about it. Apparently, the GOP commissioner for this county is pressuring President Trump to wear a mask at this event. What do you think about that?
Repeat that? Sorry.
The county commissioner, the GOP county commissioner, is trying to pressure President Trump to wear a mask at this event and trying to publicize it. What do you think about that?
Well, I haven't seen that, so I don't think he's doing a very good job publicizing it. But yeah, no, I don't think he's going to get President Trump to wear a mask. He does look great in one. We've seen that. But I just don't see this being the time or the place to push that agenda. We have really low intake numbers for hospitalizations due to COVID-19. At this point, herd immunity is really strong. The vaccine's going to be coming out in a few weeks. Fingers crossed. Pfizer's got some great potential in the works that I've been reading about. So I didn't see the mask on him a lot before. I don't think I'm going to be seeing it today.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And, you know, when I really think about the subtext of what he said as far as President Trump just needs to do it because the Democrat governor of North Carolina has a mask mandate for even this event, I think it's a way to distract from Donald Trump's message so that the media can pick up on that and say, look, he's wearing a mask again, as opposed to him talking about his record and his opponent. I think it's just a distraction technique. I think it's possibly, you know, I don't want to speculate too much, but it could be this commissioner looking to get reelected. He's trying to score some brownie points with leadership here in North Carolina. And I think that that's going to obviously backfire. And also, yeah, I don't imagine that the president's going to be wearing a mask today. So, yeah.
All right, thanks, Mike. I want to take a moment and say thank you to some of our supporters. Again, we are almost entirely viewer funded, so we do rely on your donations to keep us in business, going from rally to rally. And as you've seen, a lot of people have been watching for years now, but for those of you who are new to Right Side Broadcasting Network, something that is very cool, we take a lot of pride in it, but we have hundreds of millions of views. I'm just going to jump right in and say hundreds of millions of views, you guys. We almost consistently outrank Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, ABC when it comes to live streaming these events, and that is something to be very proud of. And it's because of you that we're able to do this, meaning we're able to get President Trump's message, his entire speech, and the crowds. We're able to show these crowds to hundreds of millions of people. I mean, it just doesn't happen. Unfortunately, other people aren't here doing it. Terrible for the world, great for us. It gives us a niche, a business plan to do. We love to do it. We love to be here and to work on behalf of the Trump campaign and to really guarantee his election in 2020. But it is really sad to see the lack of effort when it comes to actually sending out the truth, real journalism. So we are here on behalf of your donations. Y'all have made it possible, and I do want to say thank you to those who have donated today to Right Side Broadcasting Network. This is going to be a very busy week for us. Again, we have many rallies coming up this week alone. President Trump is sending it into full gear when it comes to campaigning. Today we're in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. For those asking, President Trump will take the stage at 7 p.m. I suspect he will be on time today because according to the White House press pool, he is 30 minutes ahead of schedule. So exciting news. We have about 2 hours and 20 minutes until we see President Trump speaking here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He will be speaking again on Thursday in Freeland, Michigan, which will be a total different change of pace, a lot colder temperatures, but we're excited to be there. We will be bringing that event to you live as well. Starting this weekend, it's going to be a big event too. We have Reno, Nevada President Trump rally on Saturday at 4:30. You can expect us live around 2 p.m. that day. And we have an event on Sunday in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am so excited. I'll be hosting that one. Solo hosting, but it's fine because I'm so excited to get back to Las Vegas. It's been a very long time. So again, 4 rallies this week alone. It is astronomically expensive to get to each of these, to send a crew and to continue teaching our new crewmates. We're trying to make sure that our war chest is ready and that we're all prepared to fight one of the biggest and most important battles of our life. So I'm going to jump into, and I'm going to start with the website donations first because I actually have those pulled up. So our website, if you're curious about how to donate, is www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. Again, that's www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. You can go there. It's via PayPal, so you can use a credit or a debit card to make your donation. It is a tried, true, and trusted source. No one sees that information except for us, and we are able to read your messages if you choose to have one. So we have Jack and Marie Booth who said, keep up the great work. We watch them all on RSBN. Richard said, God bless you, President Trump. Sandra Lodes said, MAGA. Dave down the street donated, so thank you. Marianne Decker said, to all at Right Side, we love you and thank you so much for covering Donald Trump's rallies. And speaking of events, you do a wonderful fun service for us all. I think fun is my favorite part of that. I love to bring fun energy to these rallies. Isidro Abalon said, Viva President Trump 2020 from Florida. No Snowflakes 2020 says, thanks RSBN for giving us an alternative to the corrupt media. Steve Finnegan said, President Trump, we need you for 4 more years. Thank you for making America great again. Now let's keep America great. Timothy Nakin donated, so thank you to Timothy. We have Barbie Miller who said, love you, President Trump. I'm praying for your victory. Martin Thorne said, God bless the entire RSBN team. We have Beth Dale who donated and said, thank you, RSBN, for all you do. A must win for President Trump. That rounds out today's website donations. So if you would like your message read out loud, I'd be happy to do so. I'll be reading those all day. You can send a donation to www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. Keep in mind, we've said it before, we'll say it again. We are almost entirely viewer funded, meaning we rely on your donations to keep us in business, going from rally to rally. There's no doubt that we had an impact on the 2016 election with, I think, over 300 million views at that point, and we had just gotten started. Right Side Broadcasting is bigger and better than ever before. The Trump campaign and their war chest is bigger than anyone could have predicted. You're fine. So we're excited. We're prepared, and we just need you guys to help make sure that we are able to get to every single rally and show off the hard work that the Trump campaign has put into hosting these massive events. Gage, I'm actually going to ask you, I'm not sure if it's possible, but we do have an overflow section almost completely behind the camera. I'm not sure how much ours is willing to swivel around, but this is something mainstream media is not going to show you. I want to turn that camera 180 degrees and show you guys this crowd. This is behind the media press pit, so you saw where the stage was. They are not even close to being able to see President Trump. I mean, we are completely blocking them. But is that going to deter them from coming out and supporting their president? You can look for yourself and answer that question. It was pretty rhetorical, but there are trolls out there that need explaining. They're not very bright. So again, we have more than 2 hours, and this is the crowd. The front is full. The overflow is filling up. It's absolutely incredible. Another great event put on by the Trump campaign. Going into the YouTube, I'm going to start answering any questions you might have. So if you have questions, just looks like I'm on my wrong YouTube account, but I think I will type a message. Okay, if you type @Liz Willis, I should be able to see it. And I'd be happy to answer those questions. I do want to give some shout outs online to Mary Melissa for your donation. Anthony donated $49.99, so thank you so much, Anthony. A new member, Michelle Pickernell, became a member, and William Ellis as well. We have 10 euros from R. Aquilina, who said, greetings from the tiny island of Malta. Love Trump and RSBN. Keep it up. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I have always dreamt of going to Malta. It's a beautiful island. Deborah Samsel donated as well, so thank you, Deborah. We also have Sue Jones for $49.99, and 2 of those incredible, so thank you. Only Sheep Wear Masks said hello, so hello to YouTube. Zipa, Andrew, McLaughlin, Obama sucks, Kiskaloo, Trump voter says, welcome aboard, Mike, great hair. Peyton M said, who is this? Okay, I should have emphasized that a little better. My name is Liz Willis. That's Lizwillis. You can find me on Instagram at Liz Willis. It's simply my name is my handle. Or on Twitter at LizWillis_. I've worked for RSBN for almost 4 years now, covering all of his events. So I consider myself as sort of a rally expert. If you have questions about how they compare, what I think about them, I mean, feel free to message me. That's what we're here for. We want to answer them. I have a lot of trolls and I don't know if they're all trolls, but people are really questioning the events. For example, I'm trying to word this politically correct, but they wanted to know why the crowd is only hundreds today as opposed to the tens of thousands it normally is. And I don't know if you guys live under a rock, but there still is a global pandemic going on. So the arenas that we used to use for President Trump rallies are no longer being used. We're now at airport hangars, whereas we'd have a 20,000 max capacity limit. We maybe have 2,000, and in some cases 200 for max capacity. So these events are much, much smaller. Some of them are invite only. It changes based on every single location, so you never really know what you're getting into. They're just working hard to make sure he has some of his supporters in front of him, and it is still an exciting place to be. Just as exciting as ever. I use the word intimate. It's definitely a lot more intimate. The proximity to you and President Trump is definitely going to be a lot closer. Andy Tuesday, the answer to your question is yes. Thank you, Jenny Okie girl. Resolute. Oh, Peaceful Warrior's birthday is going to be on the Vegas rally. Happy birthday. You'll have to send me a message and remind me, because I'd love to give you an official happy birthday shout out on air. So you can do that. These comments are just rolling in. It's great to see. So Jeff Sullivan, Walnut Creek, California, asked a great question. He said, how do we get into the... It went away. Reno rally. So that has yet to go live, I believe, on the DonaldJTrump.com website. But if you go to DonaldJTrump.com, you can usually see all of the events. You'll see eventually, I think it'll go live in the next 24 hours or so, a place to request tickets. You'll be able to request the ticket. They should email you with the information you need. However, if you're watching this and you want to know the 411 on rallies, the best way to get into a rally is to find out the location and show up way earlier than you'd ever dream. People show up days before. I don't think you have to do that right now because crowds are smaller, but I would say if it's a 7 p.m. rally, plan on showing up around noon, getting in line, and that should guarantee you a spot. If it is open to the public, double check that online. You'll be able to see that by the link. Someone said, what are y'all's handles? Again, everyone's. So I will get to those. Again, I'm Liz Willis, Lizwillis. If you'd like, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get 10,000 because I think that's a cool goal. I'm not that close at all, but you guys can help me out there. My coworker is Mike-nificent, so that's Mike-nificent, like magnificent, but with the word Mike in front of it, 813. That's going to be across all platforms, Twitter and Instagram as well. And don't forget, Right Side Broadcasting Network has their own social media platforms. They're incredible. We push so much stuff out, you guys. It's really the new age of media, mainstream media. Ours is completely different, but it's fascinating, and I love to be on that, right on the edge. But you can check that out. It's at RSB Network, so as in Right Side Broadcasting Network, but at RSB Network. That's Twitter and Instagram. I get to manage the Instagram, so it's my baby. You guys go and follow her. We're at 17,000, I think. I want you guys to help us get to 20 on that one. These are fun competitions, so get Right Side Broadcasting's to 20,000, get mine to 10,000, and oh yeah, we want to get 500,000 on YouTube. We are so close to getting that subscriber number. So it's so simple, you guys. Literally so simple. You click a button. It's free. If you're conservative and you're thinking, oh, I don't have much money, like times are tough, I don't know if I can donate financially, how else can I help this mission to get President Trump reelected? Well, it's so simple. Subscribe to us. You should see a button right underneath this feed that you're watching if you're on YouTube right now. And that's it. So by increasing all these numbers, it might sound silly, but at the end of the day, this is new age media. And as a conservative platform, really all of us are conservative platforms. We deal with shadow banning and conservative censorship against big tech. It is not a joke. It's very true. The best way to combat that is just to show each other and show fellow patriots as much support as you possibly can. That's what we love to do with each other, so hopefully you guys can help us out with that. I'm going to hand the microphone back off to Mike Nificent for a little bit, let him get some chatter in since I've been doing it for way too long. I'm so sorry. But we love you guys, and I will be back shortly.
We all need a break here. We need a break. I need to get some water. We're hoping to get some water here shortly, guys. I'm looking at the live stream here, and I see that we have 14,000 watching, but we've only got 4,000 likes, guys. I can't stress enough the importance of making sure that you like this stream. So if everybody watching right now could do me a big favor and like this stream, that will help boost it up in the algorithms and ensure that more people can see it. As Liz was talking, I was just gazing around the crowd, and I saw a guy wearing a Black Lives MAGA shirt, and it just made my day because Black Americans are starting to see the light. We're waking up. We see that Joe Biden and the Democrats have led us astray, abused us for decades. You can see it in all of our cities across America. And to see black people not only waking up to that, but coming out to support the president is a breath of fresh air. And it gives me hope for the future of our country, you know, because we all should be coming together regardless of race and not be divided amongst ourselves based on identity politics. Like, I personally don't even like the term African American, because I'm just American. I'm as American as it gets. If I go to Africa, they're going to call me American. You know what I mean? Elon Musk is African American because he's from South Africa. I saw someone in the chat say something about take away the term, take away the hyphenated term. That's a term used by Marxists to divide the country. And you notice at Trump events, Trump rallies, you don't see that. There's no talk about identity. Nobody cares who you sleep with, what color you are, what your gender is. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you love the country and you love freedom. That's it. And so it was not only hilarious to see the Black Lives MAGA t-shirt, but it's also just accurate, right? Like, black people help make this country great. It's just the truth. Even though the Democrats and the media will never tell you that because it doesn't fit their agenda of divide and conquer. So shout out to whoever left that comment in the chat. I'm also going to read some of you guys' other chats. If you guys have any questions for me, please don't hesitate to leave your comments here and I'll read them for you. I'm also going to stay on top of the super chats here. DJ Angel, truck driver here. Do you think I should stop holding my opinions? I miss having my flag up due to the possibility of being targeted and losing my moneymaker. I would say you should always express your opinions. I mean, we have a First Amendment here for a reason. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression. That actually predated the Constitution. Like, you were born to express yourself. You were born to be a free, sovereign thinking individual. So express your opinions. You know, it's unfortunate that people would lose their jobs or their livelihoods over their political views, but that's just how polarized we are at this point in time. But just know that you're making a difference. When you're sharing your opinion, you're waking people up, whether you're sharing an article, whether you're sharing a disbelief or something that you don't agree with. You know, people are hearing that, and it might inspire them to look into things. So I would say don't stop doing it. I certainly won't do it. And I've been censored on the internet. Facebook has basically railroaded my page, but it doesn't stop me. It just lights a fire under me, makes me work that much harder. Lynn Lipham, thank you. We've also got another super chat here. If I can pull it up, here we go. Tom Lee, RSBN, you do a great job, and President Trump is the greatest president of my lifetime. Yes, he is. He's done so much. I see Shami W, Black Woman for Trump 2020. Skin color doesn't matter. Yes, you guys are getting it. You guys understand it. You know, oftentimes I know I'm preaching to the choir, but it's other people who need to wake up and realize that it doesn't matter what skin color you are. You're going to pay taxes and die. That's just the truth of the matter. So we should all just focus on what unites us instead of what divides us.
Long hike in the woods. It is not going to work out. It's not going to make it.
What color you are. So that's why you don't really see a lot of like conservatives, especially black conservatives, talk about like black pride and things like that, because we have American pride. That feels better. It's more uplifting. It's more positive, more hopeful. Native Americans for Trump. Love to see it. Just found you guys. Yay, make sure you guys give it a like. Let me do a check-in really quick. Okay, we got 6,300 likes, guys. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like it. Also, if you want to follow me personally, you can check out my YouTube channel if you just type in Mikenificent on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram if you type in Mikenificent813. I'm also on Instagram, Parler, BitChute, several other social media platforms. Taking a picture for Liz. How'd it turn out? I was talking while you took it. Oh, perfect, perfect. Not my greatest picture, but it'll work for today. It's good. Okay, let's see, guys. I see we got people watching from all over. You guys are dropping your state. California, Arkansas. I wasn't into politics. I don't really understand that, but thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. I see a lot of people. Okay. Hispanic Democrat immigrants for Trump. Love it. Thank you for everyone that just subscribed to my channel. God bless all of you. The crowd is really getting into this. They got some, I believe, Backstreet Boys playing. We're not allowed to bring that song to you because, copyright and such. But the crowd is getting really into it. They're excited. We probably got, I would say we got about 3,000 people here, and there's a massive crowd behind us. I would venture to say that this might even be bigger, at least as big as our Pennsylvania crowd from last week, guys. Very huge audience out here. Lots of media presence. And we're just hours from President Trump taking the stage here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, guys. A beautiful day, beautiful Tuesday. Temperature about 80 degrees, light breeze, overcast. You couldn't ask for better weather. And I want to elaborate a little bit more on my trip to Washington, D.C. with Zoe on that boat, guys. It was an amazing time. It was fun, very energetic. Labor Day weekend. Boat rallies all across the country. There were boat parades in Minnesota, Stillwater, Minnesota, for those of you out there. Someplace in Ohio, I forget the name of the town, Oklahoma, and then always in Clearwater Beach, Florida. There's constantly Trump boat parades down there. If any of you own boats down there, I'm your guy. Hit me up. I would love to join you, bring coverage of your boat event. If you guys want me to attend one of these, just let me know, and I will gladly join. But I have a feeling I'm going to be on the road quite a bit because Trump will be holding these rallies back to back to back. As you guys know, we're going to be heading up to Michigan in the next couple days. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, we got people up here supporting us, shouting us out from the crowd here. But we're going to be heading up to Freeland, Michigan, and then from there we're going to Nevada, Reno, Nevada, and then Las Vegas. So President Trump is going to be going coast to coast as the crowd is getting excited in anticipation of President Trump. We got some people coming through here. Looks like maybe we have some local politicians or somebody that's familiar to the crowd here going through, and they're cheering, showing their excitement. Again, guys, make sure you like this. Make sure you like this. We got 6,900 likes, and I just see now, we're at 497,000 subscribers, guys. We are 3,000 subscribers shy of our goal. Help us get to 500,000 subscribers tonight. I think we can do it. Guys. We're 3,000 away, so make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know whenever RSP Network goes live, which will be a lot between now and November 3rd, probably 100 rallies, if not more. This president has a battery in his back. He's a workaholic. He never sleeps. I don't know how he does it. He's fighting fake news. He's trying to bring peace to our allies, other countries. He's holding our country together, fighting the press, and campaigning all at once. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how we do it, quite frankly. I don't know. It's hard work, but we are going to do it because saving this country is hard work, and I cannot stress how important that is. And it's the little things you can do to help us get there, guys. I'm looking down because I'm reading you guys' chats, and I'm looking at how many subscribers we have. We're at 497, excuse me. And we got 7,400 likes, guys. We need 16,000 likes on this live stream. Let's get there, guys, because that's how we're going to boost this stream and the algorithms and get more eyeballs on it, guys. I'm going to be drowned out by this crowd noise, guys. This is incredible, man. I love these Trump rallies because the energy is just so electric. It's just enthusiastic. It feels good. It's fun. You know, these are like celebrations. These aren't rallies. Rallies you would think would be, you know, a little bit of fun, but you're sitting down, man. People are standing up. They're jamming. They're excited. They're pumped up. This is like a celebration. It's almost like a party, as you can see here. I'm not sure who it is over here, but it looks like maybe some famous guy. I don't know. Walking through. Oh, maybe it's the media, our allies in the media over here. Not the fake media. Yeah, there's USA chant going on over there. That's USA chant. Just showing their love for this country, guys. There is no place quite like the United States of America, guys. No place at all. So again, I'm going to bring Liz back on here shortly. She's doing a few social media things here, and then we'll have some more conversation, guys. Let me read some of you guys' chats. I see we got super chats coming in. Mike is Nificent. Thank you very much. And your name was Der Wonderbar. I think I pronounced that right. We got some new members. Gregory Torin, welcome. Thank you for joining the club. And again, guys, if you have any questions for myself or Liz, please don't hesitate to leave your comments. Obviously, a super chat, we're more likely to see it. So don't be shy there, guys, because your donations help us go to events like this and bring you live coverage as we get President Trump reelected. Remember, guys, we've got about 60 days to go until we reelect this president. What do you think, Liz? What do you think about what's going on right now?
I think these people are hyped up. It's really exciting. I mean, even if they see a camera, they just start standing and yelling and showing their signs. It's really cool. It was a little bit of a slow morning. You've been here all morning. You've been here since preset, so you saw it from virtually no crowds to this point right here. And at no point is it like, you'll get where I'm going at in a moment, but like at no point do you see like mass crowds being bussed in. It's really an organic feeling of these people. And one of the comments we get a lot online is well, that's because we actually have jobs. Conservatives have work, we have jobs. So you can tell that as people get off work throughout the day, it really starts, and of course as you get closer to President Trump's speaking time, but it really starts to fill up. And I'm surprised that they're even having this many people. I would love to know exact numbers on what we've been doing the past few weeks. A fresh pair of eyes like yours could help me too, but I think this is going to be one of the biggest crowds we've been around since Tulsa, Oklahoma happened. So it's sectioned off, which is very unique in its own ways. Like the people in the back are there. But it's definitely a massive event. We showed you all the back. We'll show it again when we get the opportunity. It's almost like a normal world again. It's kind of nice. What do you think? Kind of,
yeah. Minus the masks and stuff, it seems a little bit like we're returning to normal. And guys, even I underestimated the crowd size potential here, because when I came for preset, I'm just thinking there's just going to be seating up front, and wherever there were chairs, they would allow people. But there's an entire standing area behind the press booth here. So there are probably a good 2,000 to 3,000 people just behind us. There's people lined up. There's people outside in the overflow with the Jumbotron outside. So yeah, I would say that by far this is the largest crowd that I've seen since joining Right Side. Now, I've covered Trump events and campaign rallies dating back to 2018. All the way up through the midterms, I was covering President Trump events. And while this isn't quite as big as those, this is on par with some of the ones he was holding pre-coronavirus. So yeah, it's exciting to see a crowd this large here, for sure.
I'm going to jump into the YouTube Super Chat, so if you have any questions, feel free to get those up. Again, friendly reminder, now we don't have any partners for today's rally, so I will spare you that. But keep in mind, we're almost entirely viewer funded. Your donations help us get from rally to rally. It's going to be a massive week. Careful what you signed up for. This is going to be your first campaign blitz. Crazy stumping about to go on. I think I'm mentally prepared for it because of midterms. Physically, we're not sure. We're not sure how this is going to go. But we're excited. So this week, I will say it again, mark it on your calendars. Today, Tuesday, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Thursday, we'll be in Freeland, Michigan at 7 p.m. for President Trump's speech. Saturday, we'll be in Reno, Nevada. His speech will be at 4:30 p.m. And Sunday, my most favorite of all, we will be live. Sorry. Mike won't be joining me, but I will be live from Las Vegas, Nevada. This speech will be at 7 p.m., so you can expect me on air a little bit before that, just running through what's going to happen that day and hitting on some of the topics from the week before, how the campaign is going, how this new coronavirus-style campaigning is happening, what we think about it, and showing you these mass crowd size. So your donations are going to help us get to all these wonderful places with different types of Americans. Trump is really going all out. Like we mentioned earlier, he's not going to sit back and do what Hillary did in 2016 and just say, oh, I got this. That's a red state, I got this. He does not. He's treating almost every state like a swing state this year. You can't be too cautious. So we are on the road. We're excited to bring you all these rallies. Keep in mind, because of what y'all did alone in 2016, RSBN as a one-man team essentially was able to get over 300 million views. We're shattering that, absolutely shattering those records. So we are so excited to be there. Don't forget to donate. You can start by clicking that $ in the bottom right-hand corner.
Please welcome to the stage, State Senator Joyce Crawley.
One moment.
Hello, everybody. Is there any place in the world you'd rather be than a Trump rally in North Carolina? Whoa! Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you that we live in a country where we are free to praise you and worship you openly. We pray for those around the world who don't enjoy that freedom. We thank you, Lord, for the men and women serving unselfishly around the world to protect those freedoms that we enjoy. We ask your protection upon each one of them, and we please bless their families in their absence. Help us, Lord, to bring all of our cares to you through prayer. We know that prayer is not a spare wheel to pull out when trouble strikes, but a steering wheel that directs our path. These are difficult times in our country, and oftentimes fear runs through our minds. We fear for our families and our nation. Help us to remember your promise in your word. You tell us, fear not, for I am with you always. We pray for our country's leaders. Bless each of them as they walk through our houses of government. Especially, Lord, we pray for our president, for President Trump and his family. Place your protection around each of them. I believe you have placed him here for such a time as this, and we lift him up and we ask that you provide him with your strength and your guidance and bestow all your blessings upon him. Help us, Lord, to be good citizens. Keep us from becoming weary and keep us to do your will. Teach us to be worthy and thankful of all that we receive, especially this great nation. Keep us focused on you and trust in you, and to keep our eyes on the prize, our eternal kingdom. We give you all the praise and all the glory for all that we have and all that we are. And all of God's people said, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage State Representative Donnie Lambeth.
God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. I want everyone to stand, put your hand over your heart, because you love this country. You love Donald Trump. And we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance so loud that President Trump will hear it on that plane circling around. Be respectful. But remember, under God, let's go and say our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Go! Go, Donald Trump!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Lisa Bates.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage candidate for Attorney General Jim O'Neill.
Yes, you know me. Welcome, everyone, to Winston-Salem. I'm Jim O'Neill. I'm the district attorney here in Winston-Salem, and I am running to become your Attorney General of North Carolina. And I'm going to tell you why you need to care about this race as much as any race on the ballot in November. Here's why. The current Attorney General is a radical left-wing liberal that spends every single day figuring out how he is going to sue Donald Trump. Every single day. The border wall. President Trump wanted to build us a border wall to keep our nation safe. Did you also know that 85% of the heroin that comes in through this country comes in through our southern borders? 85%. This Attorney General here in North Carolina sued Donald Trump over the funding of that border wall. That's right. It doesn't matter to this Attorney General what you want. It only matters what he wants. You voted 2 years ago that you wanted voter ID. You wanted to become a state with voter ID. You made your voices heard. You went to the ballot box. Overwhelmingly, North Carolina put voter ID on the ballot. Well, guess what? Here's the bad news. This current Attorney General said, no, I don't want it. This is why you should care. This is why you should care who your Attorney General is. This current Attorney General has sued Donald Trump on a monthly basis since Donald Trump took office. Isn't it amazing when you think about Donald Trump's days? Every single day he gets knocked down. They attack him relentlessly. And what does he do the next day? He shows up for work. We sent him there to do the job, and he needs our support. See what's going on across this country, what the radical left is doing to the cities. What's their message? What's the left's message? Defund the police, right? Forget it. Not in North Carolina. We got police, deputies, undercover agents all over the place. How about we show them how much we care about them? They get up every day. They put a bulletproof vest on when they go to work. They kiss their loved ones goodbye. And they hope at the end of the shift they're all going to see each other again. And they do it for us. They do it for us. And the radical left wants to eliminate them. They want to reimagine the police. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Folks, we have to stand behind this president because he stands behind us every single day, no matter the relentless attacks that he has to endure. He cares. We got to care too. We got to care. The radical left has their agenda, and they want to push it down our throats. We have to push back and fight back. It's that important. As the Attorney General, Jim O'Neill will see to it that the lawsuits are not brought against Trump. The frivolous lawsuits are not going to be brought against our president, but we'll go after the rioters, the looters, the arsonists, the killers in the streets. That's the best way to support our president. Put an attorney general in there that'll put an end to the frivolous lawsuits. I'm Jim O'Neill. I have been prosecuting cases for going on 25 years. I'm ready to become the top law enforcement officer in this state. I need your help and I need your support. In Winston-Salem, Wallet Hub rated us the safest city in all of North Carolina. Imagine what I can do for the rest of the state. But we got to support our president. We got to support our president. Jim O'Neill for Attorney General. That's right. Jim O'Neill. I'll tell you what, my wife was wondering if I was going to be able to fire you guys up tonight for the president. Let her know we did it. We did it, Una. I'm going to leave you with this last thought. This last thought. There is only one thing standing in the way between anarchy and law and order. There's only one thing. Donald Trump is it. Four more years of Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. 4 more years. And let's give President Trump an attorney general here in North Carolina, Jim O'Neill, that he can rely on day in and day out to get his back when the frivolous lawsuits come at him like waves on the beach. Let's protect him as he moves forward. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being great Americans. God bless our president, and God bless our country.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest, candidate for governor.
Well, hello there, North Carolina. Are y'all ready to give President Donald J. Trump a hearty North Carolina welcome? You know what this looks like to me? This looks like freedom. You know what this looks like? This looks like America. You know what else this looks like? This looks like 4 more years of Donald J. Trump. You know that we don't even have to imagine what America would look like if Kamala Harris was president. We all know that Sleepy Joe's not going to make it. Not very long anyway. That's sad to say, but boy, I tell you what, 4 years, 8 years of Kamala Harris, America couldn't. Can you imagine Kamala Harris as president, Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House, AOC as her faithful sidekick, and Chuck Schumer running the Senate? That would spell goodbye freedom in America. And you know what? We don't have to imagine it, do we? Because we can see it right now all across our country. Just look to Portland, Oregon. If you want to know what America would look like with that bunch running this country, look to Portland, Oregon. You don't have to look far. In fact, you don't have to look very far if you live in North Carolina. If you live in North Carolina, hey, let me ask you a question. Oh, you know what? Let me ask you this one first. What do you think Joe Biden's doing tonight? He's probably. We know he's in his basement. He's probably doing a Zoom call tonight. Probably got a Zoom call going on, but I guarantee it's nothing like this. Listen, you don't have to imagine what America would look like, but you don't have to imagine what North Carolina would look like. Because just a couple months ago, right here in North Carolina, many of you probably don't even know this, but during the riots, when the mob went through Raleigh, it destroyed every building in downtown Raleigh. It smashed in all the windows. They looted buildings and burned buildings right in our state's capital. How many of you knew that happened? Raise your hand if you knew that happened. Now, that may be a third of you in this audience that knew that happened. Why do you think you didn't know that? Because those folks back there chose not to let you know. Now, that's okay. Listen. Do you think that they have an agenda? Do you think that their agenda is to make sure that Donald Trump is not elected again in November? I do too. Because if they didn't have an agenda, you would know that downtown Raleigh was destroyed, and it would be on the news every single night. If they didn't have an agenda, they'd show you that downtown Charlotte was all boarded up, and Fayetteville, North Carolina was all boarded up. You know what? When I'm governor, I will never allow the mob to destroy our cities. And you know what? When I'm governor, I'll never march with those who are chanting, defund the police. I will defend the police. And when I'm governor, I will kneel before God and I will stand for the flag of the United States of America. And when I'm governor, I will never tell a business owner or an employee in North Carolina that they are non-essential. There's no such thing as a non-essential business. When I'm governor, I'll never tell healthy people that they need to be locked in their house. Quarantine will protect the vulnerable and let the healthy get back to life. And when I'm governor, we'll make sure that our kids are back in the classroom getting an excellent education in North Carolina. So, my friends, we got the most important decision of our life, and it's 56 days away. Our founders of this nation, they gave their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honors. Their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honors for the idea
just the idea of freedom. They didn't have it. They didn't even know what it tasted like. But they were willing to give it all for freedom. We've had it for over 200 years here in America. We're right on the verge of losing it. How hard are you willing to fight for the next 56 days to make sure that Donald J. Trump is elected president for 4 more years? So we're counting on you. We're counting on you. In 56 days, we're going to ensure that freedom is restored to the United States of America, and we're going to get back in the business of making America and North Carolina great again. God bless you all. Have a great day.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and you see some of that overflow crowd now starting to form outside, as these are the folks that can't get in. You're seeing it right here first on RSGN. That number will grow as the afternoon moves on into the evening. Look at that crowd as you're looking out, the overflow crowd at Winston-Salem, North Carolina, at the airport there. You know, that wow, they're trying to rival what we saw just a few days ago. And this is, it will continue to grow, believe me. Very impressive. In Pennsylvania is where I was thinking about. So continue to subscribe. We are big news. We are about 900 and some odd subscribers away from 500,000. I remember when we got our first 100 subscribers. Crazy. Wow. It's really cool to see this happen. It's an honor for us, and we appreciate it. So if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. We'll continue to show you that huge crowd back there. I'm going to go make a clip of this and put it on YouTube and maybe get a retweet from President Trump. That would be something. Liz and Mike Dinwiddie will be back very shortly. And remember, folks, we got 3 more of these to go this week, and things are only going to heat up from there. So you better get ready. You're going to be seeing a lot of us lately and a lot of President Trump.
My hair. Hi, everyone. everyone, and welcome back to Right Side Broadcasting Network. Those are some of the pre-speakers here today to hype up the crowd, as if it really needs help getting hyped up. But it's always good to get that energy flowing prior to President Trump taking a stage. So what you just saw was the camera was actually pointed 180 degrees in the other direction. And Mike, do you see how that's filled up? It's kind of crazy. I mean, I love to see it. I love getting back to this new normal that we call it. But the crowd is starting to look normal again. It's much bigger. For the past few weeks, what we really had at these rallies was essentially what's behind us. And that was the max capacity or so. But now we finally have what we can see in front of us. And this is so much more exciting for me to look at while I'm talking because it hypes me up and we get something cool. We finally get more people in all 360 degrees to look at and to just smile with, as opposed to staring at a blank wall. So the campaign has definitely stepped up their game. It looks like they're kind of dabbling with bigger and bigger rallies, starting small and kind of test the waters to see what they can get. Do you expect rallies to get any bigger than this leading up to November 3rd? Or like, what would you do if you were in charge of the campaign?
Well, I think what I would do is continue this momentum with the outdoor crowds. I mean, the weather is perfect here. People love being outside. People want to take advantage of the weather because eventually, especially the further north you go, you got to go inside. So in a couple days, we're going to be in Michigan, and hopefully the weather will be somewhat decent. I mean, maybe not to what we're used to being Southerners, but warm for them, to be outside. So I anticipate more outdoor crowds until he absolutely has to go indoors. But the size growing, I think, will be a thing. I think he's definitely going to grow the size of the crowds. I mean, because as we get closer to the campaign or closer to the election, there's only going to be more and more people wanting to come out and hear what the president has to say. They did say that technically after Labor Day, we were going to start focusing more on the election. That's when people start to think about their candidates. That's when people start thinking about the holidays and money and, dinner table issues. And that puts both presidential candidates in square focus. So I'm very excited by this crowd. This does feel normal again. It feels good, We've been all kind of cooped up in our minds, if not in our houses on top of that, since the beginning of the year with the virus, with the riots. It just hasn't been safe to go out. And now you're seeing people go out and feel good about going out, feeling confident. And we're happy to bring you guys the size of this crowd here. It's pretty huge. It's a big crowd here. Now, guys, I do want to say that we are closing in on 500,000 subscribers. I'm going to get an updated count here for you guys. We are at 499,000. So we are less than 1,000 subscribers away from cracking that 500,000 subscriber mark. So guys, please, if you're watching this, subscribe to Right Side Broadcasting. Make sure you hit the notification so you get notified every time that we do one of these events. Also, if you're watching this video, I see we have 23,000 people watching and we have 10,000 likes. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you like this stream so that way it boosts up in the algorithms and it gets shared out to more people. We want it to pop up on people's home screen on YouTube, and the only way to do that is through likes and shares. So make sure that you like and share this screen. Yeah, Liz, I think that this crowd represents where we're going. The best is yet ahead. Or what does Trump say? I don't want to butcher it. The best is yet to come. Yep. And I think that's true with not only his campaign and him winning, but with the rallies leading up to the campaign. It's only going to get more fun, more exciting as we go back to back to back to different cities, different states. It's only going to get better and bigger from here.
No, it's a great point, and a lot of things that I think we can expect. Oh, okay. Let me hold that thought. We are so close, you guys. Hit that subscribe button, and it's so easy, completely free. I mean, it is so important to help fellow patriots out right now, to support them, especially on social media platforms, given big tech and the conservative censorship that is happening across all platforms. But we are 500 subscribers short of 500,000. Let me get those numbers. Is that right? I'm bad at math. We're roughly 500 subscribers short. So you guys help us out. Hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. A lot of you might be watching on Diamond and Silk. We love you ladies. That's great. You can go back to watching them on that channel in just a second. But hop on over to YouTube, Right Side Broadcasting Network. Go to our main page and click subscribe. It is a milestone that our CEO, Joe Seals, I talk about him a good bit, but you really can't praise it enough. He is a genius. crazy genius, Joe. But this was his idea, this company. He has done it. I've been with him for 4 years. I think he's been doing it for 6. And I have seen firsthand so many times where it got so difficult to the point where I thought, this company's not going to make it. But he never gave up. He never gave up. I mean, you would have thought coronavirus was the end all be all of the struggles that we faced. But he promised you guys something, and he was going to fight tooth and nail to do his best to stream these rallies to get President Trump reelected, and that's what he did. So let's get that man to a YouTube channel with 500,000 subscribers. And then I'm probably going to have to send him like an edible arrangement. Kind of ruins the surprise, but let's get it going. Any way we can check?
We just hit it.
We hit it.
We hit it. 500,000.
All right. You guys are the best.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we like promises made, promises kept. It's always good to have another goal in mind. So if y'all are watching, you want to get us to like 1 million while we're at it. No, I'm just kidding. We'll take a break on the subscribing thing. But thank you guys so much. That is such a milestone. Congratulations, Joe Seals. 500,000 people. That's a big accomplishment, especially for a non-mainstream media news network that focuses on President Trump's campaign. Congratulations, Mike.
Congratulations to Joe. Congratulations to everybody that worked so hard at Right Side Broadcasting to bring you these Trump events. I'm approaching a milestone myself here on my YouTube channel. I've got 49,425 subscribers. I would love to hit 50,000. I know it's not as big of a feat as Right Side hitting 500,000. That's huge. But I would love it if I could hit 50,000 today. So if you would like to, please subscribe to my channel, Mike-nificent on YouTube. It's just like Magnificent, except Mike-nificent. Just replace Mag with Mike. My channel will pop right up. You can subscribe, hit the bell notifications. I comment on an array of topics. Nothing short of what's going on in this country, what's going on abroad. I talk about everything. I talk about my support for the president. I talk about my story, my journey, which led me to where I am right now. My God-given destiny to be with Right Side Broadcasting. So please subscribe to my channel, Mike-nificent on YouTube. God bless you guys for being here today. I want to read some of these comments.
I have 4 subscribers, so don't even try to find my channel.
Maybe. Do you have a YouTube channel?
Don't worry about it.
Guys, subscribe to Liz.
No.
Just kidding. All right. I want to read some of you guys' super chats because I know they've been coming in.
Lots of people are so excited to
Yes.
hear you talk and welcoming Mike. A lot of people are excited to hear more about you and your channel. So I'm already subscribed. Most of these people already subscribed to you, Mike-nificent. How does that feel?
It feels good. Now let's get me to 500,000. How about that? How about I set the bar too low? I set it at 50,000. Let's get me to 500,000. How about that? No, I appreciate you guys for being here. We've got a lot of new members who have joined. JC Bridge, thank you. We've got Camille, I can't pronounce that really. Camille Bally. You're a new club member?
Read this one.
I subscribed because you hired Mike. Good decision. Thank you very much. Who said that? Der Wonderbar. Thank you so much, Der Wonderbar. God bless you. God bless everybody for watching, tuning in and supporting us. We couldn't be here without you guys. You guys are amazing. Someone said they found Liz's channel. I don't believe it. Jim Kelly said, Trump 2020, Trump 2020, Trump 2020. Say it one more time for me. I see a lot of people said they just subscribed, guys. Let's get me to 50,000. Let's do it. As the crowd is getting excited here, we're about an hour and 20 minutes away from President Trump taking the stage here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Beautiful weather out here, beautiful crowd, lots of energy, lots of enthusiasm, excitement for this president. He will be reelected in, I believe, 56 days. We are in the home stretch, guys, and Sleepy Joe looks as sleepy as ever. President Trump is clicking on all cylinders, hitting on everything from how he handled the coronavirus to how Democrat cities are imploding under the failed leadership. Joe Biden's gaffing all over the place.
Highlighted your YouTube channel on the screen so people can see it.
Thank you very much, Joe, for highlighting my YouTube channel, guys. Please subscribe. My cameraman's over there cheesing about it, guys.
Highlight my Instagram.
We're going to... Guys, and I just see that I have hit 50,000 subscribers. This is amazing. Yes, so that's what...
Happy dance for you too.
There's going to be celebrations all
dance,
around.
Mike.
Happy dance.
That's all you got?
That's all. I mean, we're on this tiny little platform. I can't really tear it up the way I want to, I can't really cut a rug on this little platform here. But guys, God bless all of you guys. Now, next milestone will be 100,000 for me, but we can save that for another day. Just keep on rolling in those subscribers or those subscriptions. Silent Americans in California will vote this November. What do you think about some of these blue states? With everything that's gone on, let's take California, for example. That's an uphill climb. That's an uphill climb for Trump, obviously, but
I can see it
they're
happening
fed up.
eventually.
Yeah.
They are messing it up under the leadership they have right now. They are screwing it up worse and worse. It's going to get to the point where there's nothing to do except a 180 when it comes to political leaders. And have you seen some of these boat parades out in California? Like, DC was big, but I think it was a San Diego boat parade. Biggest thing I've ever seen. It was all over my Twitter and YouTube. And my dad used to work out in California, so I've been out there a good bit, probably like 20 times or so in the past 2 years. And I go out and hang out with friends and I meet people, and I'm always afraid, to talk about what I do when it gets down to the nitty-gritty. I don't want them to like act crazy on me and throw a drink or something. I have yet to find a liberal out there.
Yeah.
What?
It's crazy, and I actually did see some of the photos from that boat parade in San Diego. California is such a beautiful state. It really is a crying shame to see it wrecked by left-wing policies. They just get more radical each year. It's like a petri dish for socialist, communist policies. I've heard that California's actually been controlled by the same 4 families for like 80 years. Gavin Newsom, all up in the wine industry up there. It's very corrupt and crony. And of course, Nancy Pelosi, the queen pin of corruption, she's not even wearing masks, but telling everybody else they have to wear a mask. She's eating all this expensive ice cream while people can't even, and her hair still doesn't look that great. So I don't even know, but no knock on that salon. That salon that held her accountable.
And this is a good point. People are, I think, who put this out? Maybe Trump Jr. or something like that. She's third in line to our nuclear codes, and she's stupid enough to go into a public hair salon. Okay, what? Have someone come to your house. I mean, there's way smarter ways to go around getting your spa days done. That's absurd. That is stupid. If she got duped by a hair salon, she doesn't need to be in charge of anything.
It's more that elitism. It's rules for thee, not for me. It's not
stupid.
Yeah, it's not just Nancy Pelosi. It's Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. Lori Lightfoot went and got her hair cut, and then when her own residents called her out, she said, well, I'm on TV. I'm the one that has to show my face. I'm a public figure. I'm like, you better put a hat on. Nobody cares that you need to be on camera. You need to improvise and adapt to it. If your residents have to adapt, so do you. But these politicians put themselves above us. Right? Think about all these politicians getting rich off of taxpayer dollars. As we get poorer, they get richer. That's why President Trump won. That's why he's going to win again, because he doesn't take a salary. He fights for the middle class. He fights for the little guy. He fights for the average day American. He invites the average Americans to the White House. Obama had a bunch of celebrities, entertainers, athletes, people out of touch with reality to lecture America about how we should live. Trump is the opposite. He's letting us have the microphone. He's letting us have the megaphone. He's actually rolled up his sleeves and fought against the media and the elites.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm still torn on the Nancy thing. I don't get why, if she puts that much effort into getting her hair done, it looks the way it does. I haven't had my hair done in like a year, so there's easy ways to go about it. You learn how to use a hair dryer, basic knowledge. There's box dye to fix her grays, and you're good to go. It's, what do they call her, Nancy Antoinette? Except it's even dumber in this age of new media with everything constantly being put on live camera. It's just stupid. It's really stupid. But it looks like we are getting some action on the tarmac. Let me check into he was not scheduled to land until 6:40, I believe. So let me check my email, see if I have anything. Don't have anything regarding POTUS, but I do want to say thank you to some of those who've donated via our website. So RSPN is almost entirely viewer-funded, meaning we rely on your donations to get us going from rally to rally, all different locations, spreading President Trump's speeches and showing the crowds. There's a number of ways you can donate, the first one being the $sign in the bottom right-hand corner of the chat room. It's a lot of fun. Mike has been reading those throughout the day. I actually did see one I screenshotted so I could read because it seemed deserving of my time. Robert Waring said, I just paid $5 to say Liz Willis rules. So thank you to that. All right, back over the thing. I wanted to make sure you got your credit. But we have Alice Lawson, who donated via our website. That's www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. Moderators, thank you so much for being here today. I just want to say thank you. We know this chat room can get crazy without you guys. Mike and I definitely appreciate it. And also, if you don't mind dropping those addresses, the website address down below, and the next address I'm about to say. So if you want to donate, but you don't want to do it electronically, that's fine. You can send a check to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. All right, moderators, you know what to do. Back to this. Alice Lawson donated and said, vote all red. God bless our awesome President Trump and God bless America. Stephen Sykes donated and said, we are rooting for President Trump. Yes to 4 more years. Thank you, RSBN. The Winslow family. Woo, this is a good one. RSBN, thank you for all that you do to bring us, the people, information unadulterated so that we can come to our own conclusions. You are not fake, nor do you, Big Jewel. I'm a firm believer in the people. If given the truth, they can be depended upon to meet any national crisis. The great point is to bring them the real facts. Abraham Lincoln. Thank you for bringing us the real facts. Warmly, the Winslow family. Thank you, Winslow family. Denver Kramer said, when President Trump touches down, please say, ladies and gentlemen, the eagle has landed. Thanks, Denver in West Virginia. I've actually always wanted to say that, so consider it done. Thank you for your donation. Kathy Stedman said Trump 2020. Michael Rodriguez said Trump 2020, Michael and Cordy. Karen Secker said, RSBN, thank you so much for your coverage. It's nice to see Trump rallies uninterrupted and in its entirety. You're doing a great job. We have Gordon Smith, who said your network has the best coverage I've ever seen. Woo! All right, here's a good one. Tina for Music Hoffman. Make live music great again in Democrat California, paralyzed by AB5. From OC Hollywood, Musicians for Trump. Please subscribe and tap the bell at Menagerie Pleasures YouTube channel playlist. At my Tina for Music Facebook pages and groups, I'm already encouraging all of my musicians and other business professionals from our international www.musicnetwork.one referral group to donate in exchange for your much appreciated unique promotional opportunity that we will definitely continue to reciprocate, including if you would like to use our original music for your broadcast at no cost. Much love and blessings to lovely Liz and all of Right Side Broadcasting, refreshing real news versus fear and hate-mongering, lamestream media fake news. Tina Hoffman Music, Menagerie Entertainment, earning a living doing what we love by collaborating talent and resources for local and global life enhancement community celebration while assisting others to do the same since 1993. Thank you very much. Best year ever. The planet was graced with my presence.
Always.
Stephen Rajic said Americans give it all to save your country. Patty Goodker said Trump loves America and thinking Americans love Trump. Sam said from Ohio, on vacation in Florida, we love eating out without a mask. We're done with masks. COVID has been defeated. Next is Biden-Harris, Trump 2020. Dude, I totally agree with all of that. I'm from Atlanta and everything has been fine. We've been going out without masks for so long. I just went to Kentucky and they were really strict on masks and it was not fun. Christine Collier said, make America safe again. Gary Land said, love RSBN Bird Dog Bobby Band. Judith Rajic said, Hispanics for Trump 2020, best president ever. Peter and Sandra said, thanks for reading our donation on the air before Trump's Winston-Salem, North Carolina rally. Keep up the great work. Thank you for your donation. Joe Silvera said, my family loves and will vote Trump in November. Laura D. said, thanking God for Trump. Chuck Mullen said, thank you. Stephen Reniger said, thanks for all the hard work. Why are you not interviewing people? Great question. Was going to get to that as soon as I finished giving our thank yous. So the campaign actually didn't allow for crowd interviews today. It's a completely different setup. I think they're trying to keep people isolated as best as possible. That's a guess. I really have no idea. But we were told that no crowd interviews were allowed today while they were outside before getting screened. So it might be a different situation once you're inside, once you've passed the temperature checks. Things are just different. So we will when we can. We absolutely promise that. Mike is sad. He loves interviews. I do too. But we will get back to that. Almost done here. I'm going to hand it back to Mike. We have Gary Beeman said, great job. Young folks are a gift from God. Paul Devon said, retired firefighter for Trump. Joe Marchant said, Liz, are you single? # MAGA. Thank you for your donation. Terry Fishman said, hi from Canada. We love President Trump and we love RSB. John Lipp said, glad to have a conservative network that doesn't interrupt activity we tuned in for. Chief Sinbad said, thanks for keeping journalism alive. Kemp Lemons, thank you for your fight for free speech. Russell Saylor, we're almost done. Thank you, RSB. And even though I've never met this great group personally, I can feel the purity of their hearts to get the truth out to the American people and not the lies from the mainstream media. I'm very proud of all of the staff at Right Side. I've watched this channel since the beginning of 2016. Keep up the fight. Heck yeah, man, we are fighting. We're just getting started. Maureen Green said, love my fellow Trumpers. And Jan Talpoj said, greetings. Hold on. Frederick Schreven, Denmark. So thank you. Okay, I am done.
Yes, you said a mouthful. Let me take over here. You know, as Liz was reading all those comments, yeah, take a break. You've earned it. Whoop, let me scoot over here. As Liz was reading those comments, I had a chance to read through the chat. Shout out to Dan O'Brien, who said that I'm an Uncle Tom with a mohawk. You know, I'm really sorry that you're a hate-filled person and there's evil working within you, because you're so filled with rage that all you can do is go to a pro-Trump stream and comment something negative. I hope you go love yourself because you deserve it. But I just want to say that God bless you anyway. We're all about love and unity here. And I'm sorry that I'm not on the Democrat plantation, that I have a mind of my own, that I am a God-fearing American, and nobody's going to dictate my destiny but me. You know, so I'm sorry that you are where you are, and that goes for everybody else that's a hater. But I just had to call that out because most of you guys love what we do. You guys uplift us. You guys are positive, happy people. But every once in a while, when there's a hate-filled person, you try to send some love their way. So Dan O'Brien, God bless you, and I hope you become a better person from that. Now let's get back to some of these super chats. We got some super chats here. We got SEK. No, wait. Yeah, SEK. No. Lars Anderson. Thank you, Lars Anderson. Thank you for the super chat. We've got Daggy James with a super chat. And we've got some new members. They're coming in so fast, guys. It's hard for me to keep up with them on the phone here. But I want to appreciate everybody that's been watching. So far, we've got 20,000 people watching. We've got 12,000 likes, guys. Please, let's get it to 20,000 likes. The more people that like this, the more people that will see it. Let's get this snowball rolling. So the more people like it, the more it will move up in YouTube's algorithms and more people will see it. Please make sure you share it on other platforms. Send it to your friends and family. Show them Trump. Show them the crowd size here. You know, we're going to have our cameraman pan around here so you can see the size of the crowd. It has grown significantly since we got here. There's an entire standing section behind us. There's obviously a seating section up here and then a section behind the stage. But then there's also an overflow lot outside with the Jumbotron of people that came just to hear the president speak. They're not going to be able to see him, but they're going to get to watch him on the Jumbotron out there. And it just goes to show you that Joe Biden's not going to win. Joe Biden doesn't have the support. He doesn't have the enthusiasm. He doesn't have the momentum. He doesn't have the message. He doesn't have the policies. He has nothing on his side but a hate-filled, rage-filled mob like Dan O'Brien or whatever the guy's name was in the chat, and then everybody else that's out destroying these Democrat cities. You know, all he's got on his side is the media, Hollywood, entertainers, a lot of people who are divorced from reality. But we are American citizens. We're united. We've seen what this president has done predating the virus, and we know that he can get us back to where we were. The best is yet to come, as President Trump always says. He always delivers a message of hope, and I think that's what draws people to him. He's also a comedian. He's funny. He loves to just shoot the breeze and shoot from the hip. He's a funny guy. People like him. People have always liked him until he ran for president as a Republican and the media said not to. Then you saw who was mind controlled and who wasn't, because those people fell in line and started bashing the president. You know, I've lost plenty of friends and family because I'm not politically aligned with them. It's unfortunate that they would put their hate for the president over their love of my friendship with them or family. You know, it is what it is. This president has delivered. This president is pro-life. He's pro-First Amendment, Second Amendment, pro-military, pro-police, law and order. That message resonates with like 90% of the country. That's just the truth of the matter. And that's why they have to lie and hard sell you on someone like Joe Biden, because the policies suck. It's just the truth. And you see it with the crowds out here. Like, talk to me when Joe Biden could get even a fraction of this crowd. Look at the size of this crowd here, guys. They have really packed in here. They have packed in. There's people sitting on the railings on the side. There's people lined up outside here. There's people to the left, to the right. And we're just over an hour away from President Trump arriving on the tarmac. We are looking forward to seeing Air Force One pull up here and President Trump come deliver a message. He's so funny, man. I'm telling people, like, he's going to say some funny stuff, some jokes, and the media is going to spin it to make it seem like he's serious. You know, he posted a tweet that's so funny. It's so hilarious. It wasn't even him that originated it. We showed him being president until like 2055 or something. And the media, of course, freaked out thinking, oh my gosh, he's a dictator. He's going to rule with an iron fist. It's like, these people can't lighten up. They can't have a joke. They don't know how to be funny. It's like being funny is illegal. That's why there's no more Hollywood movies that are funny. You can't even be a stand-up comedian anymore. They have sucked all the fun out of life. And that's, to me, what Make America Great Again feels like. It means get politics out of sport, get this woke trash, all this nonsense, all this propaganda, all this Marxist ideology. We need to get it out of our institutions. You know, sports is like escapism. Movies, escapism. You know, think about all the joys that we used to enjoy as a country. Now, you can't even turn on an NBA game without seeing Black Lives Matter painted on the basketball court. What is that? You got these NBA players replacing their family name with someone who was gunned down by the police. So you're going to take your family's last name off the back of your jersey and replace it with Trayvon Martin or Michael Brown or someone else. Like, come on, guys. This is not the America I grew up in. I want my country back. And President Trump is the only one that I feel can deliver that. He's the only one that stands up for Americans, normalcy. He stands up for the unborn. He stands up for the law-abiding. Democrats stand up for criminals. It is one massive crime syndicate, top to bottom. Hillary Clinton saying, don't concede no matter what. If we just fight them tooth and nail, we will emerge victorious. That sounds like a dog whistle for civil war or something. I don't know what's going on with these people. But we're not going to let them win and destroy this country, because if they destroy this country, that destroys freedom for the world. People cross oceans to come to the United States of America because this is where freedom rings. This is a beacon of hope and light for the world. And the Democrats want to take that away. Joe Biden wants to take that away. A man that's been in politics for 47 years is talking about what he's going to do. Liz asked if I missed her. Of course I miss Liz. Everybody on camera, we all miss Liz when she's gone. I'm actually going to take a breather here and let Liz take over. I'm going to find us some water.
Good luck. Good luck. Stay safe out there. Hopefully you don't get confused for fake news media. Okay, I'm back now. Let's hop in the super chat, see what's going on, see what I missed. If you have questions, you know what to do. Tag me, Liz Willis, Right Side Broadcasting Network. If you ever see me like not on camera, I'm like generally like 6 inches away. I was just sitting on the ground. So I'm always right here with you guys. Looks like Manchester Chimney LLC upgraded their membership. So they are now a Trump Club member. Thank you for that. Love to see it. Vanguard Patriot. I also want to say hi to Team Trump France. I think it's France for Trump. I want to make sure I get that Twitter handle right. So I think I just butchered it. We're going to ignore that shout out. I have another shout out. I want to say oi to a couple of my friends watching back home. So thank you. Muito saudades. And I hope that you are enjoying being back in the United States for a little bit. Blessings to you and your baby son, Livia. Thank you for tuning in to Right Side Broadcasting. All right, jumping into the YouTube super chat. I am going to take any questions you have. So for those of you who don't know what's going on, at 6:01 p.m., President Trump is scheduled to begin his remarks at 7 p.m. Eastern Time here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. This is not a White House official event. This is going to be a campaign event, meaning it is not funded by taxpayer dollars. There seems to be so much confusion by uneducated people online, so let's get that settled. This is going to be campaign funded, campaign stopped. Oh! Yes, with the water, mic return with bottles. We love to see it. So this is a campaign stop. This is President Trump. Trump, Biden 2020. He's going to be here today. We can expect to see him talking a lot about the economy, the great American comeback, as they like to call it, and the fact that despite all, like, any political scientists, any statistics, any polls that came out, unemployment was not supposed to be below the double digits until I think 6 months from now, something insane. Unemployment as of this month reached 8.4% within the United States, astronomically low numbers considering what has just happened with the Chinese virus. We can thank President Trump and his administration and great leadership for that. So we're expecting him to be mentioning it here today at his campaign stop in Winston-Salem. We have a few more stops this week. The next one will be in Michigan, Freeland, Michigan on Thursday. It will be all around based on the same time. So President Trump is scheduled at 7 p.m. to take the stage. This weekend, you will see Right Side Broadcast Network in Reno, Nevada, and finally in Las Vegas, Nevada, where I will be very excited to be at. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm officially, you see me looking at my phone screen, I'm trying to answer messages. I'm not just hanging out on Twitter. Do love Twitter, though. Someone said, Liz, did you play basketball for some team? It went really fast. No, I didn't play basketball. I'm 5'4". The cameraman is trying not to spit out his water. I bet he's picturing me trying to play basketball competitively right now. All right, 21,000 roughly. Someone said, get Liz a chair. I'm standing on our equipment box, actually. So you guys don't see the non-glamorousness that goes into this job, but we make it work to get you what you need to see, and that's not us. It's President Trump. He'll be here at 7 p.m. In the meantime, we want to keep you entertained, make sure you know what's going on here on the ground. Mass crowds considering the circumstances, and we're going to be panning those all around me. Our cameraman is fantastico, so you just do your thing, Gage. You show those crowds. I'll be answering questions in the chat. Someone said, are you Brazilian? I'm not. I just have a bunch of friends that are. And my good friend Olivia Flema, oh, she got married, so there's a new last name. Let me go get that new last name. I'm not used to seeing it. Olivia Lima, it's what she still goes by. Okay, so I want to say hi to Louise and Jody from Los Angeles, California. I saw that you were in California, Olivia. Was it easy traveling there? I guess you just went from Florida, right? But shout out to Louise and Jody. I hope that you are enjoying time with them and hopefully getting to see the new-ish grandson. Thank you for watching. Muito saudades, Livia. All right, back in here, we have a lot of Trump 2020, Trump's the man. It looks like we have a $100 donation, so let's read that one. From Manchester Chimney LLC, $100. Thank you very much. If anyone needs a new chimney, check them out. $4.99 from Black Lives Matter, hashtag Trump 2020, real_AskHal. Doug! What do you say? How are you? Oh, I'm totally live, yeah. But it's not, the camera's not on me, so. How are you? To say hello. Ooh, it looked like there was a Willis in the chat. Guys, this is going so fast, it's hard to keep up. That is one of my favorites. Someone said Liz was probably a soccer player, not basketball. Okay, I played soccer when I was like a wee little thing. Always got in trouble, I didn't like it. But as an adult, I played tennis, I cheered competitively, and I did pageants. So, now you know. Wow, these are going so fast. Oh, it's James May. So I just read a comment that said, tell Mel hey. And I was like, somebody knows my dog, and I got super excited, and then it was JW. A little bit less exciting. I'm just kidding. Thank you. Go get her. She'd love to have someone to play with. I miss my dog. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because Joe will fire me, but we're going to keep showing you the crowds. We have less than an hour. Gigi Cray asked a great question. She said, "Hi, Liz. Does everyone who shows up get in to see POTUS?" No, there is like a fire marshal. There's always a limit. And generally with Trump rallies, the crowd side exceeds the limit. So for the most part, 9 out of 10, not everybody's going to get in. You really can guarantee entry based on an early arrival. So it's a first come, first served basis. There's nothing guaranteed unless you basically know someone and you're on VIP or a situation like that. But those are very limited number of VIP tickets available. You just have to show up early. And for those who don't get into the actual event, there is generally an overflow area where they set up a large jumbo screen and you can see President Trump that way. For those asking, okay, so Glitch said, "What's going on?" Well, hello. Welcome. This is Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm Liz Willis, reporting live for RSBN. We are here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where President Trump is scheduled to speak in less than an hour. This is an official campaign stop where he's going to address North Carolina, North Carolina's economy, as well as the United States' economy. And it's basically the Great American Comeback is something that the campaign's really been hitting hard, as they should be. I mean, it's astronomical the way they've been able to fight back since the Chinese virus. But again, I'm Liz Willis, so right now we're basically entertaining you guys, showing you the crowds. We really like to bring it all together so you can see people filing in, just that organic chemistry that's happening. No one is like bust in or anything crazy like that. I mean, it takes hours to get everyone through security, especially with temperature checks now. It's a lot of fun. You get to see everything that's going on. This is completely live. That's one of the best things about this. So you're able to see that. POTUS will be arriving on the smaller version of Air Force One in about 30 minutes. So you'll actually be able to see that landing, as well as Air Force One taxiing down the tarmac, which is right next to me. You guys have seen it. It is going to be so glorious. Absolutely love seeing Air Force One all the time. It is just massive and majestic. So you guys get to go with us on that one. This stream is going to be continuous. You don't have to go anywhere. It's really easy. So basically you get to see what's going on. You can be anywhere in the world and watching Right Side Broadcasting right now. I've been with them for 4 years now. Basically, as soon as I got out of college, I've been able to be with this company. I have loved it. You can follow my journey on Twitter or Instagram. I'm trying really hard to break 10,000 on each of those accounts. It seems impossible. I don't know why. I just can't get there. I'm like within 1,000 of each of those. So if you are interested in what I do for a living, or just me as a human, that's cool. You can follow me on Twitter at LizWillis_, and on Instagram at LizWillis, LizWillis. The next 2 months is going to be insane. We have so many campaign stops. Our ultimate goal is to show these rallies and to show these crowds to as many people as possible, not just in the United States, but this election is going to be one of the biggest and most important of our lifetime. I can almost guarantee that. So it's important to show the world the truth about what's going on. I mean, these are fun events. These are great events, great people. Sorry, my mom is texting me. This is live TV. She wants me, and I'll share it with you guys. She wants me to get, you guys that are from around here, she wants Moravian cookies and sugar baby Jesus dolls that you eat in Salem, North Carolina. I don't know what she's saying. I never know what she's saying. But I did watch the local news last night, and there was a cookie company here that is a small family-owned business. It's like the largest homemade cookie business, and they're suffering really bad due to coronavirus, and they used to do tours of their bakery, and they can't do that right now, so they're losing that stream of revenue. So I'm going to figure that out, and I'll tweet it later so you guys can order online with me, because they looked really good. They're super thin. They looked delicious. Maybe that's what you're talking about, Mom? I will see if I can go get you some cookies in the morning. I'm so sorry. All right. Mike, do you want to join me back up here? He took a little break. I think I'm going to take my water break now.
Now that I've had a much needed water break, I needed to hydrate myself. Thank God there was water right there when I needed it. God always delivers when I just send a little prayer. Guys, I'm excited for President Trump. I cannot wait for him to take the stage tonight and deliver a powerful message, a law and order message, a pro-America message, a strong economy message. Best president in my lifetime. Best president in your lifetime. Even if you don't like him, he's still the best president in your lifetime. When you snap out of this Democrat media trance, you might look back and tell your grandkids what kind of president Trump was. You know, they say you don't know what you got till it's gone. One day, he will no longer be our president. That will be in 2024, of course. And then, hopefully, if Don Jr. doesn't replace him, you know, we're going to look back and you're going to say, dang, we had a good thing going with President Trump, as we're just an hour away from him taking the stage. We got some fans over here saying what's up to us, giving us shout outs here. 4 more years. 4 more years. That's right, guys. 4 more years. They are excited for their president, and we're excited to bring you coverage of the enthusiasm, the enthusiastic fans he has. You know, his supporters span all walks of life, all races and ethnicities. I am not kidding when I say I have seen every color, every spectrum of human being possible supporting this president. And of course, the media would cover that up. And he doesn't just have support here in the United States, guys. He has support all over the globe. When he went to India, that was his largest crowd. President Trump's largest crowd isn't even from the United States. He went over to India and drew a massive crowd. He has supporters all across the globe. That's the truth of it, man. I mean, I remember as a kid growing up seeing him on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Home Alone 2. He's been in all sorts of movies. You know, he got an award from Jesse Jackson. He was in The Little Rascals too. I remember that. He was sitting with Reba McEntire, maybe? I can't remember. Yeah. And Whoopi Goldberg. Oh yeah, you can't forget about that. Whoopi, who hates him now, right? It's just like a switch flip like that. Oh, we hate Trump now. He's racist. It's like, come on, man. We see through that fakeness. Everybody loved President Trump before he ran for office. Like I said, all the rappers, Nelly, Snoop Dogg, Puff Daddy, Diddy, whatever the heck his name is now, all these people loved Trump until he ran for president. That's the truth, man. It's plain to see. He's been doing a great job. I'm proud of him. He's a hard worker. I draw inspiration from hard workers, successful people, and that's what this president is. And he goes toe-to-toe with the media. He punches back against the media that wants to lie and smear his name, smear his family, and I support this president. So President Trump, if you're watching in the air, we're excited for you to get here. We can't wait for you to land. We hope you have a safe rest of your flight. We're looking forward to your speech tonight. God bless you. God bless President Trump. God bless the United States of America. My cameraman is going to show you some more of the crowd here, because as I look around, they are really filling in. There's a lot of people here behind us. Gage, if we can get the people behind us, they're like pushed up against the railing. I would say back there's probably 3,000, if not more. I hope someone got a head count, because I would love to see the size of this crowd, like the actual final numbers, because this is huge. The crowd size is tremendous. Only if it'll work for you, Gage. You don't have to get the whole thing, but it's pretty much wall to wall, guys. And I love that he's holding an outdoor event, outdoor rally. Outdoor rallies, to me, are the best. Even though indoor venues you can hold 3 times as many people, there's nothing like an outdoor event with the fresh air, sunshine and the breeze. You know, as the polls tighten, we're going to see more fake news coming. I'm always wondering, like, what's the next thing they're going to throw at us? What's next for President Trump? What's next for the American people? Because when they attack him, they're really attacking us. When they smear us, when they call us smelly Walmart people, deplorables. Joe Biden even called us dregs of society, right? As they say that they're going to bring us together. Joe Biden is going to heal us. He's going to bring us together. I mean, for starters, he told me I ain't black. So he's got a long way to go to try to heal this country, right? As he caves to the radical left, the far left. Peaceful protester. I see a sign over here, someone holding a peaceful protester. You'd love to see it, guys. You love to see it. I seen a Black Lives MAGA shirt. I got to get one of those. I'm going to tell you what. If any of you know where I can get that, send it to my email. Send me a link. MikeNificent813@gmail.com. Email me a link. If you know a shirt vendor, if you know anybody selling the Black Lives MAGA shirts, let me know, because I would love to get one and wear it, hopefully at one of our events. If not, I'll wear it on my YouTube channel, which I hope you subscribe to, by the way, Mike Nificent. And speaking of subscribers, guys, not only did Right Side reach a new milestone at 500,000, we're already surpassed that. We're 501,000. So you know what's next, guys. We got to go for that 1 million. It's ambitious, but I think we can hit it by election time. That's how many viewers we're going to have. We're going to have so many people watching our events between now and the election. We're going to be in Michigan on Thursday. And then Gage and Liz are going out to Nevada for the weekend, because the president's going to be holding that many events. So there's going to only be more and more and more people watching. There's going to be more events, which is why your donations go a long way to supporting us going to these events. We're almost completely viewer funded, so please make sure you donate. Let me give you guys some shout outs here. Hooterville, Super Trump Rocks USA, USA. Thank you very much. Whoops, I accidentally clicked on a link there. Greatest president ever, Kentucky for Trump 2020. Manchester Chimney LLC, vote red, Trump 2020. I tell you what, guys, he better win 50 states. We know realistically he won't win 50 states, but I mean, on paper he should. I mean, think about what's happened. Think about what you've seen in the last 9 months. You've seen absolutely insanity. These people are so unhinged, so evil, so divorced from reality, untethered from reality. They don't know what's going on. Their candidate doesn't even know the words to the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence. He said, oh, you know the thing. I'm going to heal us and bring us together, but also you ain't black if you don't vote for me, and poor kids are just as smart as white kids, and you're a lying, dog-faced pony soldier. Who is this guy running against Donald Trump? Who is he? And why are they putting him through this abuse? So, guys, it's never been more clear. The election should go to Trump in a landslide. I'm guessing 30 states, 35 states. LD said, I love Mike and the RSBN team. Whoops. Hold on. I lost it. I love Mike and the RSBN team. This is for you, Dan O'Brien. God bless you all. Dan O'Brien, my man Dan O'Brien, the guy that said, I'm an Uncle Tom with a mohawk. Well, if you're still watching, there's one other thing I want to tell you. I forgot to tell you earlier. I think you should read the book Uncle Tom, because he was the hero. So when you call somebody an Uncle Tom, not only are you broadcasting to the world that you haven't read the book, but you're also complimenting whoever you're calling an Uncle Tom, because he was the hero. So I take it as a compliment. Also, you should watch the movie Uncle Tom. Shameless plug. And don't be hating on my mohawk. I mean, I might keep it. You know, one day I'm going to be an old man and I won't have any hair, so I figure why not grow it out, have a little fun while I can. All right, guys. Crazy people for Biden, somebody said. Go Trump from Russia. Love Mike. I'm thinking 45 states at least. You know, here's what I'm thinking, guys. I'm thinking that we're going to see some surprise states like we did in 2016. You know, the blue wall, which the Democrats neglected. Hillary Clinton didn't even set foot in Wisconsin. All went for Trump. So not only do I think he holds the blue wall, I think there's some states up for grabs, like Minnesota, which he lost by a razor-thin margin. I think he could flip Minnesota. I would love to see that. I would love to see that, because there's going to be some heads exploding up there. So I would love to see Trump win Minnesota. I think that could happen. I also think Virginia could be in play because, you know, Governor Blackface over there, Ralph Northam, and everything else they've seen over there, the insane policies, infanticide, and everything else. There's gonna be some states in play. I would love to see California return to the Republican Party. It was a Republican state for the longest, you know, and slowly turned blue. It's sad that the largest state in our union has some of the highest taxes, the biggest government. Everybody's just being crushed by government in the state of California. It's more expensive to get a U-Haul leaving California than it is to go. They have a literal app so that you don't step into human excrement on the street in San Francisco. That's Nancy Pelosi's district. No Mask Nancy, Nervous Nancy, that ripped up Trump's State of the Union speech. They're unhinged. The Trump derangement syndrome, it's just not healthy, guys. So we all know somebody. We have friends, family that have Trump derangement syndrome. Help them snap out of it and realize that we're up against something much bigger. This isn't just your standard election. This isn't just you're going to vote for a Democrat or a Republican and you're pretty much going to get the same thing. It's like, no, you're going to get America or you're going to get communism, because the radical left has hijacked that party. It's been completely co-opted from the inside out. AOC, Ayanna Pressley, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, they hate this country. They hate this country. They're all but outright saying it. I'm saying it for them because look how they act, look how they talk, look what they say. They have nothing positive to say, guys. They have nothing happy to say. They're just angry, hate-filled people. And with these kind of people that stand behind Joe Biden, we stand to lose a lot on November 3rd. So we need to vote, 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 and vote in person. The only way they can win is by cheating. They can't win on policies. They can't win with Joe Biden. They can't win with their ideology. And they're not going to shame us into it. Sorry, guys, I'm a little distracted back here because the people are so fired up back there. They've got people up there hyping up the crowd. It's insanity. The electricity in this building is unbelievable. People standing around waiting for the president to arrive. We are a little over 30 minutes away. So I'm going to turn it back over to Liz here momentarily so that she can... One second here. I lost count of the chat here. The chat has been moving so fast, guys. Again, one more time. Make sure that if you're watching this stream, that you like the stream. So everybody, please do me a favor. We got 14,000 likes. Let's get it to 20,000 likes. Let's get the likes up. Get the likes up. Like this stream and make sure you subscribe to Right Side Broadcasting. Hit the notification bell so that you will get notified every time we go live. In 48 hours, we will be in Freeland, Michigan for another President Trump rally. And then this weekend, Reno, Nevada, and Las Vegas, Nevada. So make sure you like so we can move up in the algorithms. Someone said herd immunity with rallies. You know, they might as well be telling us who has strep throat at this point. What is the point of still recording the COVID numbers? It's here to stay, so let's just live with it, which means go back to normal. I want my country back. RSBN rocks, somebody said. Welcome to California, Patriots. Thanks, Mike. We like you too. God bless all of you. Thank you, all of you guys. Remember, guys, 3 years ago, I was not into politics. I didn't know anything that was going on. I moved to Florida, and I became an Uber driver, and next thing I know, I was meeting people with MAGA hats, and they were so nice and friendly. I saw what was going on. I saw the insanity, and next thing I know, I have a YouTube channel with 50,000 and counting subscribers, and I'm working for Right Side Broadcasting, man. We're on the right side of history. Saving America is the right side of history. It's the right thing to do. Preserve freedom so that people can continue to cross oceans, risk it all, so they can have a little bit of freedom by coming here legally, of course, but coming to America, the freest, most prosperous nation in the history of humanity. Those are the facts. Don't let the liberal, leftist, Marxist media lie to you. Look like there's some movement over there on the tarmac. I don't know if maybe he's going to be landing shortly. I don't know. I don't know how fast Air Force One flies, guys, but I'd like to think pretty fast. President Trump tweeted, I believe about 40 minutes ago, that he was on his way. And he was flying from Mar-a-Lago, maybe? Jupiter, Florida. Somewhere down there on the east coast of Florida. So I imagine it's about an hour and a half to 2 hour flight. He should be here soon. Soon. Catherine said, Mike, you're doing great. Love you here too. RSPN. Thank you guys so much. You know, this is only my second rally. I've been in front of a camera before. I have my own YouTube channel. I've done live streams. I'm no stranger to talking to crowds, but sometimes you do get a little bit of butterflies, you know, and this is only my second rally. And it feels good. And I'm only going to get better from here. I know I've got some bugs to work out some kinks here, but I appreciate you guys' support here. Thank you very much. Massachusetts for Trump. You know what I'm curious about, guys? We got 23,000 people watching. I want you guys to tell me what state you're watching from right now. Go. Let me hear. What state are you watching from? I want to see if we have followers, people watching this stream from all 50 states. Tell me your state. Where are you watching from? You can tell me your country, too. Where are you watching from, guys? Tell me. Let's see what we got here. Where you guys watching from? Where are you watching from? I see some states in here. I saw California, Colorado. Where else? We got Massachusetts, Texas, Ohio. We're going to get all 50 states. Georgia, Maryland, New York. Lots of California, North Dakota, Arizona, Indiana, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Maine. I love it. I love to see it, guys. Virginia, Tennessee, Missouri, Colorado, my home state. Rhode Island, Iowa, Ottawa. Nice. Denmark, Illinois, Idaho, Nebraska, Japan. Got some international viewers. Love you guys because it's late over there. Or maybe it's early in the morning. I don't know. Connecticut, Louisiana. We've got at least every time zone. Utah, there we go. Pennsylvania, Norway. Where else, guys? Oh, New York City, Alabama. Okay, guys, Michigan, Chicago. Vote Lori Lightfoot out, Chicago. Do your job, Chicago. Get Lori Lightfoot out of there. Look at this crowd. Look at this crowd, guys. Love the crowd. Love the crowd size, guys. People are trickling in here. We're just under 30 minutes away from President Trump's arrival, in which he will address a crowd of, I will say, probably 8,000 to 10,000 people. If you just look around, guys, there's probably 8,000 to 10,000 people in here. I think it's a safe bet that what you're looking at right now is at least 3,000 to 4,000. I would say we've got at least half of, at least 5,000 people behind me. So, very big crowd. It looks like we're returning to normal here. Lots of American patriots in here to support their president. Guys, Liz is dying to get back on the mic here. She is just absolutely ecstatic to get back on, Liz. What do you think about this crowd size, Liz?
It's fantastic. It's huge, big, impressive. I love to see it. I'm here on an interesting topic, so I hate to beat a dead horse with this. But one of my friends who I regularly see at rallies, we're friends through rallies and different events, she just messaged me because I was talking about getting my follower count up and how I can never really break 9,000 on both platforms, Instagram and Twitter. And she was like, well, I just went to go see how many you have, and I had to refollow you. She was like, so that's probably why you can't break that. And I never really thought that my platforms would be, what is the word, not guilty. But I know that Twitter and Facebook, they always censor conservative accounts. They'll take away followers and whatnot. But I always thought those were big voices that had really political stuff to say. And mine's 50% fun, 50% work and politics. It's not a straight political account, any of them. So interesting that I am being what is it, ratioed? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, ratioed.
Has that ever happened to you?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I've had people unsubscribe to me. I've had people say that they've lost it, they can't find my channel, even though they have the notifications set. They're like, I don't see your videos. I have to search for you. That's happened to me on Twitter as well, where people are like, I can't even search for you. I can't even type in Magnificent and have you pop up. It's very obvious what's happening. And, of course, Facebook railroaded my page, and they said, until we figure out COVID, we can't have anyone look at your page. But they had enough people to say that my page wasn't real and take it offline. So I find that kind of interesting. But that's kind of what we're dealing with right now.
Interesting. Well, that's why we ask you guys so many times to show your support, mainly for Right Side Broadcasting Network. We hit 500,000 subscribers on YouTube today, which is awesome. But now I've got to work on mine a little bit since I'm realizing they're taking away some of my friends and followers. So help me get to 10,000. I want to get that and never go below it again, so I don't have to worry about whatever it is they're doing to my platforms. So follow me on Instagram, please. That's where I think it was Anna messaged me. So shout out to Anna. Let me go find it because she deserves a shout out for bringing that to my attention. Yes, it was. She said, had to refollow. That's probably why you can't hit 10K. So stupid. But yeah, help me hit 10K. Really appreciate it. Really want to get there as a new little journalist that's pro-Trump, conservative. So also on Twitter at @LizWillis_. Super close on both of those. Been wondering why I can't get there. Now I know.
Now you know. The cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag. How does that make you feel, though? I mean, are you just used to it at this point?
It's so frustrating because a lot of us work really hard to build up our following.
Especially you. I mean, I do it for fun. That's sometimes your livelihood, your YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, because I've worked so hard to get where I am. I just crossed 50,000 thanks to all these amazing followers, people watching us tonight.
You're good for something.
Yeah, you guys are good for many things, but it's a struggle to get even like 100 subscribers, let alone climb up into the thousands where you actually see yourself trying to make a living. And for my opinions to be censored is really frustrating because this is supposed to be a free country. They're supposed to stand up for free speech. They're supposed to let everyone talk, essentially. Like, everyone has the right to talk. As long as they're not threatening anyone, they should be able to talk online. And yeah, not if you're Republican. It's like, and apparently Facebook's going to be amping up the censorship. They basically are going to take down any page, any platform that doesn't help Joe Biden get elected. They won't outright say that. They'll say people who have harmful speech or whatever. They have this like soft language that they use so that they can arbitrarily enforce the censorship.
I don't think you have harmful speech at all. You have way softer speech than I do.
I mean, I do my best, but it's also like I'm not going to hold back either. I don't go out of my way to say like things that disrespect other people, but at the same time, I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to tell the truth. You want me to hold this? I can hold that. We're just panning around here, guys. It looks like we're anticipating something, guys.
Just a little something. You see it?
Oh.
Are you going to do it?
Yep.
I don't think I will, but I think I'll probably be able to ask.
Ladies and gentlemen, Air Force One on final approach. Winston-Salem Airport, North Carolina. I feel so cool saying that. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Air Force One, final approach into Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We're Right Side Broadcasting Network here today to cover President Trump's remarks here in Winston-Salem. President Trump is scheduled to take the stage at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and Air Force One has just touched down. This event is going to be live from the hangar, so we are right next to the tarmac, where the stage is right next to the tarmac where Air Force One is currently wheels down. So it's taxiing at the current moment. The motorcade's behind him following hot pursuit of Air Force One. And you can see her getting closer as she applies the brakes. She's so beautiful. We absolutely love to see it. So what you can expect from here, you'll see it shortly, but it's going to continue to taxi down the runway, line up alongside us, and eventually President Trump, I'd say within 10 minutes or so, will disembark Air Force One. You have to say it, Mike, not me.
Guys, the Eagle has landed. President Trump has arrived, making his grand entrance in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He will deliver another one of his remarkable speeches to a crowd of at least 10,000 people, guys. It's amazing every time you see Air Force One land. This is only my second time seeing it, and it's an incredible sight. President Trump has arrived.
Air Force One taxiing. He is actually a little bit ahead of schedule, so we're excited to see that as opposed to the alternative. This has been a very busy day for President Trump. He spoke earlier in Jupiter, Florida about environmental factors, different things he plans to, rules and legislation that he plans to pursue to help the Everglades even. A lot going on down there. We weren't able to follow it in its entirety as we were getting ready to prepare for this Winston-Salem rally. But if you wanted to catch that speech, it is on our channel archive, so you can search that Now tonight, however, this is going to be a big one. President Trump is fighting. He is here today to fight for North Carolina workers and their families. He's really working to make the economy great again. As President Trump speaks today with supporters in Winston-Salem, this evidence is going to show you his whole of government response to the coronavirus and how it has helped North Carolina families and workers. Just a few things he's done while Air Force One is taxing. I mean, let's do a friendly reminder of how hard this man has worked since taking office. President Trump fought to give the people of North Carolina the resources and help they needed to fight the coronavirus. The Trump administration's Paycheck Protection Program protected 1.2 million North Carolina jobs and has provided more than $12.2 billion worth of loans to over 129,000 businesses. 5 million North Carolinians have received economic impact payments totaling more than $8 billion in relief. The CARES Act is providing up to $4 billion worth of aid to the state of North Carolina and more than $919 million to 6,905 healthcare providers in the state. North Carolina's businesses are poised for a historic comeback thanks to President Trump's economic leadership. President Trump's historic tax cuts, deregulation, and pro-growth policies helped build a stronger economy for North Carolina's workers and businesses. In the last 3 months, North Carolina added a record number of 290,100 jobs back following the economy's artificial interruption from the China virus. Between President Trump's election in February 2020, North Carolina added over 243,600 jobs, including 12,700 manufacturing jobs. While Joe Biden was vice president, North Carolina lost 13,200 manufacturing jobs. 252 North Carolina communities have been designated as opportunity zones thanks to the Trump tax reform law, driving new private investments into these distressed and predominantly minority areas. More than 104,000 North Carolinians were lifted out of poverty during the first 2 years of the Trump administration. President Trump kept his promise to negotiate America First trade deals, providing a massive boost to North Carolina's economy. The President's United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, also known as USMCA, trade deal will boost North Carolina's economy and deliver new jobs to the state. North Carolina exports more than $10 billion annually in goods to Canada and Mexico. Trade with Canada and Mexico support more than 376,000 jobs in the state, including nearly 32,000 manufacturing jobs. President Trump is defending North Carolina's farmers and agricultural producers from China by providing more than $194 million in direct USDA payments to farmers to offset the damage of China's unfair trade practices. But Joe Biden's radical far-left agenda will decimate North Carolina workers and families. Biden will raise taxes to the middle class. His plan calls for raising taxes by $4 trillion, and it would hit more than 80% of American taxpayers. Biden has promised to end fossil fuels and American energy production. The oil, gas, and coal industries support over 144,000 jobs in North Carolina and contribute nearly $14 billion to the state's economy each year. 1/3 of North Carolina's households rely on fossil fuels to heat their homes. Joe Biden's plans endanger the private health insurance that over 5.3 million North Carolinians rely on. Biden's government-run public option plan would ultimately kill private health insurance plans. Under Biden's government-run public option plan, 24 of North Carolina's rural hospitals would be at, quote, high risk of closing, limiting patients' access to health care. And finally, Joe Biden pledged that charter schools will be gone if he is elected president. In North Carolina, more than 100,000 students are enrolled in over 170 different charter schools statewide. Those are just some numbers, pretty huge ones if you ask me, about how President Trump's administration has helped the great state of North Carolina and why North Carolina needs President Trump for 4 more years. I am about to hand it back over to Joe Seals, our CEO. Don't forget, President Trump will be joining us shortly Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Liz Willis. Over to you, Joe, at headquarters.
All right. Thanks so much, Liz. We appreciate all of you tuning in. Let's get the view counts up. You know, we routinely beat Fox News and the rest of the mainstream media in the streaming numbers on YouTube. And, you know, that's despite not even being in the YouTube search results. They've had us blacklisted for a couple of years now. So it really speaks to this audience, and we appreciate all of you so much, you know, sharing and letting everybody know that there is an alternative out there. And, you know, there are several alternatives, but we actually, if you haven't noticed, we're the first ones live on every event. And I know a lot of you have been asking about the interviews and why we don't interview people anymore. So at most of these events, they've actually prohibited media from interviewing some of the spectators there because of the China virus. So we are not able to do that anymore. We would like to, but we're just not able. So that is why we hope that we'll be able to do that again soon, as it was one of our favorite parts of the event. But we still, obviously you've seen everything else here from the opening speakers, the pledge, the national anthem, and the huge overflow crowd we were able to show you tonight. I appreciate that. And I want to remind you, 3 more events this week and many more coming. If I had to guess, I would say this guy is, you've never seen energy like this before. So I would say 100 rallies, 100 campaign events between now and November 3rd. And that's going to put whatever Sleepy Joe can do to shame. He may do 10. But President Trump's going to take this as a challenge, and he's going to out campaign Biden. You remember in 2016, everybody was wondering, where is Hillary Clinton? She took weeks off at sometimes, and everybody was wondering where she was at. Well, she couldn't keep up with President Trump, and neither can Joe Biden either, obviously. We know that. But thanks again. We appreciate you. We only ask for donations because we have to. We are viewer supported. So if you want to help us get to the next event, there's 3 more this week. As I said, we'll be in Michigan on Thursday and the state of Nevada all weekend long. Please consider donating to our 2020 campaign fund at rsbnetwork.com/donate. And every penny of that will go towards helping us get to these events. We have 57 days to save America, so it's important that we go all in together. We're all in for you. We're going to be out fighting for you to be your voice on the campaign trail, to help President Trump bypass mainstream media and help folks that are on the fence see what President Trump is all about. That's why I started this company 5 years ago, because I believe that people can make up their own minds. And people are tired of the media telling them what to believe. We just want to hear the facts and decide for ourselves. That's what media and news and all that's supposed to be about. Is supposed to be presenting the facts and letting you hear. So we just let you hear what he has to say and make up your own mind. So that's what we do. If you like that, support us, subscribe, like us. We can't thank y'all enough. I'm going to send it back to Liz in just a few moments. Liz and Mike doing a great job there in Winston-Salem, and they'll be back in Michigan on Thursday.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard from the very finest, our CEO, Joe Seals. I am standing right behind the tripod and camera with Mike-nificent. If you have questions, we are here. We're just waiting for President Trump to deboard Air Force One. You can see the motorcade lined up, ready to get the staff off, and President Trump as well. Mike, what did you think? You've only seen Air Force One a number of times. How did it feel?
It's like surreal. It really is. It's something that I've only ever seen on TV or depicted in movies, but when you see it in real life, it's like, wow, the President of the United States is there. It's just I've always been into airplanes, but when you see an airplane like that, it's beautiful. It's a sight to see, seeing it come in. I remember being a kid and watching planes land at the airport with my dad. It was fun. Like, what kid doesn't like that, you know? But to see the president land and know that he's going to speak and know that he's not just any president, this is going to go down as the greatest president of my lifetime as well as your lifetime. So it's amazing. It's amazing to see. I can't wait for him to get out, come and address this crowd. We're all excited. You know, it's like a sporting event. You're anticipating it all day. People are tailgating in the parking lot. Everyone's wearing the same attire. What a time to be alive is all I can say. What a time to be alive. We are so excited. We're moments away from President Trump delivering an address to an amazing, large, 10,000 plus crowd. I'm just going to say it, guys. I think it's 10,000 plus. I would like to find out the final number once it's all said and done, but we're all waiting, anticipating President Trump's arrival from Air Force One. This is an amazing time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Right Side Broadcasting. We are bringing you President Trump's rally from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Your donations go a long way to sending us to these events, guys. As I see, we have a lot more people watching, guys. Make sure you like this, please. Like this stream. If you're watching, please like it. We've got 33,000 watching. We've got 17,000 likes. Guys, let's get it up to 33,000 likes. Like, and share. Share this stream. And make sure you subscribe to Right Side Broadcasting. Hit the bell notification as we bring you every single one of President Trump's events, rallies, between now and November 3rd when he is re-elected as our president.
All right, you're good. You're good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I want to say thank you to those who have donated throughout today's stream. We have a few to read. We have Gene Anderson, who said, win, just win. Art Brandon said, God bless our President Trump. The Pool Wizard loves President Trump. Trina Jansen said, thank you for all you do. God bless our president. Anna Hong said, President Trump must win. Gary Gersten said, you will be getting more from me and my wife soon. Ashtabula County Republican Party loves RSBN. Keep up the great work, and we'll keep broadcasting you guys on our Facebook page at Ashtabula County, ASH.
Please welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. The men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be in North Carolina. We had great luck and great people backing us in North Carolina. And I'm thrilled to be in Winston-Salem with thousands of loyal, hard-working American patriots. You are great people, great people. I don't know how many people here, but there's a lot. We said, let's keep it down. They didn't do too good a job, but that's good, right? That's good. Now these crowds, I tell you, it's beyond what we had in terms of enthusiasm, beyond what we had 4 years ago in 2016. And that was a record enthusiasm, and we are breaking that record by a lot. This is the most important election we've ever had. 56 days from now, we're going to win North Carolina. We're going to win 4 more years in the White House. This is a choice, and I must say, this is a choice for many decades. I don't think you've had a bigger difference, and maybe you've never had a bigger difference. This is the American dream. And the other, I don't want to say it because I'll get myself in trouble with the fake news back there. But the other is a basic disaster for our country. Joe Biden devoted his career to offshoring your jobs, throwing open your borders, dragging us into endless foreign wars along with some of his other friends, and surrendering our children's future to countries like China. Remember this, very simple to remember. If Biden wins, China wins. It's as simple as that. So you have a situation where we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. We were forced to close it because of the China plague that came in. And now we've opened it. And by the way, your state should be open. Your state should be open. You ought to vote for Dan Forrest. Any governor that does that, and even if you look statistically, it's you, it's Michigan, it's a couple of others, they're closed. New York, look what they're doing in New York, what they're doing to our beautiful New York. Oh, it's so sad. But you just take a look at what's going on in North Carolina. They want to open. They want to open. They want to open in Michigan so badly. They want to open. They want to have football. They want to have their schools open. And it's a shame what's going on. And I'll tell you what, on November 4th, every one of those states will be open. They're doing it for political reasons. No, they're doing it for political reasons. They think by hurting the economy, by keeping all these store owners and all these people that work in shops and stores and buildings, offices, they think by keeping them and hurting them, you're hurting the economy. Our economy is doing phenomenally well. And it's not only is it a V, it's a super V. You see what's happened. We just had a jobs number come out, 1.4 million. It's down to 8.4%. Nobody thought that, 8.4. So we had the greatest economy, we closed it up, and now we're opening it up, and your state should go with it. We're opening it up, and we will have a great third quarter. It's going to be announced, by the way, just before the election, but we're going to have a great third quarter. We have unbelievable retail numbers, unbelievable numbers all over, and this is that super V, but next year is going to be one of the greatest years in the history of our country economically. And unless the wrong person gets in and quadruples everybody's taxes, in which case you will see a depression, the likes of which you haven't seen. And remember this, if Biden wins the violent mobs, you see these mobs all over the place. They're Biden people, they're Biden states and cities, they're Democrat states. If they win, the mobs win. You see these guys, they go around saying, yeah, I want your meal. Give me that food. Give me that. A woman sitting there, she wants to eat, and they come, they grab her food. They grab her drink. Nobody's ever seen stuff like this. This is all that ideology. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to let it happen. And you know, in Portland, you see what happened last night? They arrested over 50 people the first time. We said, either do it or we're going in. We're going to have to go in. Do it. Let us go in. We're saying, I spoke to the governor of Oregon the other day. Let us go in. I said, let us go in. We'll straighten it out in less than a half an hour. Now, the U.S. Marshals did go in to take care of that one guy who killed somebody. You saw that. He killed a young man in the middle of the street violently. He had other charges against him. And I put out, when is he going to be arrested? And they went in about 15 minutes later. And I'll tell you what, our federal government is so ready to go. All they have to do is call us. It'll all be solved very quickly. They have to call us. But all of these places are Democrat-run places, radical left-run places. They don't know what the hell they're doing. If Biden wins, the rioters, arsonists, and anarchists win. He said the other day, well, you know, if I win, that doesn't mean that's going to stop. He will never stop. If they win, it's not going to happen, hopefully, but because this is not like a second-place crowd, let's face it. And are you seeing all the poll numbers are coming out? That's why he left, finally, he left his basement. He said, we got problems. I don't think he knows that, but the people that manage him know it. They understand it. He does it. So I'm running for re-election to keep jobs at home, to put violent criminals behind bars, and to ensure the future belongs to America, not to China and other countries. Because if we win, America wins. You know that. You've seen that. You've seen what we've done. Over the last 3.5 years, we've secured America's borders, fixed our broken trade deals, and they were broken like you've never seen. They weren't even broken. They were bad. They were bad from day one. Rebuilt the awesome power of the United States military. Obliterated the ISIS caliphate 100%. In fact, I got it down to 98%. Remember, a year and a half ago, I got it down to 98, and they all said, no, it's got to be 100. I said, somebody else can finish it. We want to get home. They said, no, you got to finish it. So we took another 2 months. We finished it, and we're bringing them home. We're bringing them home. These great, great warriors. But people don't like it when I say that. Secured American energy independence and built the greatest economy in the history of the world, and now we are very simply, we're doing it again, and we're on track to have, as I said, the best year we've ever had next year. You just had the best year. You know, you just had the best year in the history of your state last year. We've created a record-breaking 10.6 million jobs in the last 4 months. Next year will be the single greatest economic year in the history of our country and probably in the history of your state if your governor ever opens up. But hopefully you're going to have Dan Forrest. You're not going to have to worry about it. But if sleepy Joe Biden takes power, the economy will collapse. He won't even know the difference. How's the economy? Not good, sir. We're in a depression. Oh, we are? What's that? Joe Biden has spent 47 years shipping North Carolina jobs to China and other countries. You know that. And I've spent the last 4 years bringing jobs back to our country. We never had so many jobs. We're up to 160 million jobs. We were never anywhere close. We got up to 160 million, and we were never anywhere close to that. Here in North Carolina, voting is already underway. On November 3rd, Americans will decide whether we will quickly return to record prosperity or whether we allow the same left-wing extremists that have no idea what they're doing to burn down buildings or take control of government, set fire to a whole country. You know, when they started knocking down the monuments and statues a few months ago, right? I signed a very strong executive order. You want to knock them down, that's fine, but you go to jail for 10 years. It was amazing. It was amazing how that stopped. And then they said, well, we'll do it easily. We'll do it through the process because, you know, they don't want to spend 10 years. You know, they'd look at it. They'd say, not worth it. 10 years is too much. But the D.C. committee, did you see about that? They want to change the name of the Washington Monument. They want to get rid of the Lincoln Monument, Jefferson Monument. Now we're talking the big stuff. They finally hit the big time. Took them a while to get there, but I said that was going to happen. Don't worry about it. You don't have a thing to worry about. If our foreign adversaries were devising a scheme to cripple America, they could hardly do better than the Kamala Harris. Remember Kamala? She started at 15. She was supposed to win. Problem was she went from 15 to 14 to 12 to 10 to 7 to 4. It's like a free fall. You know why people don't like her? Nobody likes her. She could never be the first woman president. She could never be. That would be an insult to our country. Biden wants to impose a $4 trillion tax hike, a ban on American energy, eliminate America's borders, confiscate your guns. He wants to get rid of your Second Amendment, appoint. We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges, but they want to destroy your suburbs. You know the rule, the regulation that I just terminated. They want to build low-income projects in the suburbs. They've been doing it. They've been destroying suburbs. We're not doing it anymore. Somebody said, suburban women, how's Trump doing? But do you remember last time, too? They said, women don't like Trump. I said, I think they do. I think they do. Said women don't. And then we did great with women. Remember that great? Was that one of the greatest evenings ever? 4 years ago. That was one of the greatest. But one of the things they did First of all, we did much better. Now we're doing really well. African American vote much better. Hispanic vote much better. He did better with African Americans than we thought. He did better with Hispanic than we thought. He did better with Asians than we thought. He did really well with women. What's this all about? You know, ladies and gentlemen. And they said Donald Trump is projected the winner of 2016. You remember that evening? Was that the craziest? That was the craziest thing. And they thought, I think they didn't think it, but I'll tell you what, anything we had then, we have much more now. They don't understand. They do understand it. They do, right? They understand it. Look at that beautiful dress. And she wears that dress right through the middle of Hollywood, and everyone says, thank you very much. Beautiful. Like it. But they want to indoctrinate your children and implement a ruinous shutdown of the United States economy again. Biden said the other day, well, if the experts told me, we're not shutting it down again. We don't have to. We learned about the disease. We did the right thing. We saved millions of lives. People don't realize we saved millions of lives and hundreds of thousands of lives by not letting China. We put a ban on China, heavily infected. And Biden was against it. 3 months later, he said he did the right thing, I have to admit. It's clear why both China and the flag-burning rioters want Biden to win. They know his policies will be the downfall of America, and they know my policies will lift America to new heights of national greatness like we've never seen before. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. And never forget, they're coming after me because I'm fighting for you. There's a lot of truth in that one. And they do come after me. They do come after me. They have more things to say about me every day. It's something. They said, you don't see the plane where it is? Sir, would you like to take the car? I say, why? I'm saying, what? Well, I heard you had a limp. I do? I don't know about a limp. I don't have a limp. Hey, someday I'm going to have a limp. I'll let you know when. You'll see it. No, they make this stuff up. They make it up. They make stuff. It's called disinformation. They give a phony deal out. They did it 2 days ago with the military. There's nobody loves the military more than me. So they make, you know, I was very lucky, though. I had 15 incredible American patriots that came by, and they said, he never said that. They were there. They were there. But they make up stories, horrible stories, many, many. Hey, look at last time. The fake dirty dossier. It was all made up. And frankly, if the shoe was on the other foot, right? If it was on the other foot, you'd have many people, 20, 25 people right now in jail for 2 years, and they'd be there for 50 years because they got caught spying on our campaign, and it's treason or whatever else you want to call it. And it's a disgrace that it's taken this long. It's a disgrace that it's taken this long. And let me just tell you a little secret. Obama got caught, and so did Sleepy Joe Biden. Remember Biden sitting in the room saying, why don't you use the Logan Act on General Flynn? Look at General Flynn, what he's going through for years. If that were ever reversed, I'm telling you, you'd have many people in jail for many, many years, and it would have started 2 years ago. It's a disgrace, but let's see what happens. Biden's a globalist sellout who spent his career laying waste to American communities. And, you know, he talks about, like, well, he's going to do this. He doesn't have any idea. He has no clue. He's going to do this. He's been there for 47 years. And, you know, he just really left. You know, he left 3.5, 4 years ago, right? So he just left, but he's been there for 47 years. I'm going to do this. You know, after 47 years, he's had a change of heart. This is the craziest election. Look, somebody said, what's the difference between crooked Hillary Clinton and Slow Joe? So the difference is the following. She's meaner, probably not as nice. I don't know. You can't get any worse than her when you think of it. But the big difference is she's smarter than he is, okay? He's a nicer person, but he's not smart. He never was, not in prime time, and certainly not now. The Washington vultures ripped apart our towns in exchange for his party's nomination. Biden has now formed an unholy alliance with the most extreme and dangerous elements of the radical left. You know that, with Crazy Bernie and everyone. And by the way, you know who's further left than Crazy Bernie? Kamala. 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 You remember she left the race. Sort of interesting that they picked her. Because in theory, they should be able to win California. I don't know. Maybe we'll make a play for that one, too. But they picked somebody from California. I don't quite get it. But you always pick somebody that's hot, that's going up in the polls, right? Going up. Frankly, I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever said this. But probably Hillary should have picked Bernie Sanders to be her running mate, right? Because, you know, as crazy as it sounds, he was hot. He gave her a hell of a fight. A lot of people think he won, and it got taken away. One thing about Bernie, he's the greatest loser I've ever seen because, look, any children here? No, not too many, but they've heard it before. He got screwed 4 years ago, and he got screwed again. You know, Biden got the nomination, right? He got the nomination. But if Biden would have sat back, and if Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, you remember Pocahontas? Right? She finally faded. She faded badly. But if she would have dropped out on Super Tuesday, prior to Super Tuesday, Bernie would have been the nominee. And I don't know who I'd rather run against. One is super left. The other one's had to become super left. One is competent. The other one is only half competent now and heading south. He's half competent and heading south rapidly. But the globalists and the leftists make natural partners because they're united by their contempt for the American middle class in the truest sense. That's why powerful corporations and far-left politicians have both sided with radical demonstrated over, if you look at that, it's over the law-abiding areas that we have. You know, Republican cities and towns are doing great. We're doing great. And we don't have crime, and we don't have this violence. Chicago, over the weekend, many people killed, many people shot. They're actually shot and killed. New York, the same thing. New York's gone through the roof. They're up 300% in certain categories. And you say, what's happening? And we want to send them in so badly. Joe Biden and his party spent the entire summer cheering on the rioters, rampaging through Democrat-run cities, falsely labeling them as peaceful protesters. And you know, we call you peaceful protesters. You know why? Because they have rules in these Democrat-run states that if you're campaigning, you can't have more than 5 people. They did that for me. If you're going to church, you can't go to church anymore. You can't go to church. You can't go to church. You can't do anything. You have to stay in your house. But if you're willing to riot running down Main Street, if you're willing to riot and stand on top of each other's face and do whatever the hell you want to do, you're allowed to do that because you're considered a peaceful protester. So we decided to call all our rallies peaceful protests. Okay? Instead of standing up to the far-left rioters, Biden condemns law enforcement and condemns America. Didn't even mention the words that we love and respect law and order. You know, they're all telling me, even my people, my very brilliant consultants who I don't listen to too much, maybe I should. Sir, please don't say law and order. That's too tough. Now, in the meantime, you look at these streets, people are all crazy. They say law and order, but with safety and with security. I said, look, people get it. It's just law and order. Is that okay? Law. We want law and order. They say law and order and safety, sir. Could you add the word safety? Because it's, I said, I don't want to, it's sort of obvious, right? We want law. We want order. Biden is fueling the violence with his relentless attacks on police and his constant slander that America is racist. By the way, I've gotten the support of almost every police group in the country. Sheriffs in Florida, Ohio, Texas, North Carolina, all over the country. But did you notice he's starting to talk a little bit tougher now? Did you notice that? He sees what's going on. His polls are dropping like a rock, and he sees what's going on. Now he's starting to say, no, we need law and order. No, he didn't say that, did he? He'll never get to say that. He can't say that because then it'd lose the whole left. And let me tell you, the left is running that party. You take a look. You don't want to be dealing with the left. These people are stone cold crazy. You don't want to be dealing. Meanwhile, Biden, he doesn't say a word about the thousands of African Americans who are murdered each year as a result of violent crime in Democrat-controlled cities. They're murdered by the thousands, and they never, ever mention it. My heart is with the hardworking patriots of all backgrounds who build up our communities, not the violent criminals and extremists and agitators and anarchists who burn them down. Next time you see video of screaming far-left maniacs shouting wildly at peaceful Americans, remember this. These are Biden supporters, and if he wins, they will be in charge of your government. As sure as you're sitting there, you'll be taking your monuments down. You'll be taking your statues down. I'm not kidding. You'll be taking them down. You have to look at the D.C. report. I'm just telling you, go get it. You wouldn't even believe it. It's too crazy to even talk about. But we're never going to give them a chance to do it. We're never giving them a chance. We're going to win. We're going to win big. This is a very important state. And by the way, when they send out their millions and millions of unsolicited ballots, when you get a ballot, say, well, I wanted to go and vote, darling. I wanted to go and vote. Why are they sending me those ballots? There's something really... The only way we lose North Carolina and a couple of others, like Nevada, we're doing great there. Now the governor decides we're doing so well that they're going to send out unsolicited. You have solicited and unsolicited. They're going to send out millions of ballots to you. People that never really thought in terms of it. Now, sometimes you'll ask for a ballot. That's a solicited ballot. It's okay. You have to go through a process. You have to sign a form. You get it. Sending out millions of unsolicited ballots. Make sure you send the ballot in and then go to your polling place and make sure it counts. Make sure it counts. Because the only way they can win is by doing very bad things. That's the only way. Look at this. You know, if Joe Biden came here and made a... This is not the most convenient place. You know, it's an airport. Hi, fellas. They did a good job guiding the plane. They're great. They're great. No, you're right. This is an airport. If he were, honestly, if he had 200 people, I think it would be a lot. I really mean. You ever see the gyms with the circles? That's his crowd. If he had 200 people, I was told we have 15,000 people here tonight. That's what it is. As far as the eye can see. But they'll correct it. They'll say, he's wrong. It was 14,500. He's misrepresenting. He's misrepresenting. Now, I was told we have 15,000, and we're in the middle of an airport someplace. It's a wonderful thing. And, you know, I actually think, I don't know if you agree, so we go to the arenas, but because of China, the arenas aren't working out too well, right? You can't really do that anymore for a while. But we are rounding the turn, I will tell you. We're rounding the turn on that. But because of that, so we said, because we have the same crowds. I think we have bigger crowds, potentially. We were in New Hampshire the other night. We had to turn away 8,000 people at an airport. We're doing mostly hangar things because we're outside. Outside is very much different than being inside, according to the great doctors, right? But they say it's very much different. So we're doing these, and we're doing the outdoors, we're doing the hangars. But I really believe that these crowds are bigger than they were 4 years ago. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. We started off in New Hampshire. We said, look, let's have 1,000 people. And they had like 5 or 6 show up, and they had thousands more. You know, we're trying to be nice, but then eventually we landed 2 weeks ago. We landed in New Hampshire, and the entire runway was lit up with thousands and thousands of people as the plane was landing. And, I mean, it's really amazing what's going on all over the country. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a great thing. More support than we had 4 years ago. Because, you know, 4 years ago I said I was going to do this, I was going to cut your taxes, I was going to cut regulations, I was going to get right to try, I was going to take care of your vets, I was going to rebuild your military, I was going to do all these things. And you said, I don't know, that's a lot of... You know what? I've actually done more than I promised. Build a wall. Build a wall. Sure. I've done more. For instance, you never heard me say You never heard me say, a lot of you were at various rallies, you never heard me talking about Space Force. We built a new, think of it, a new branch of the United States military, United States Armed Forces, called Air Force. I never talked about that. That's something we never talked about. I only figured that one out after I became president because I saw what Russia was doing and what China was doing. I said, we have to do the same thing. And if you think that was easy, that was not easy. That was not easy. It was very hard. But what we've done, you know, the wall now is past 300 miles. It's exactly the wall that our great Border Patrol wanted. I was hoping a nice concrete plank for the builders in here. Boom, boom, you put it. Sir, we have to be able to see through. I said, all right, let's go. Much more expensive. And I said, let's go. So we're over 300 miles now, and we will be finished with it very soon. And we have among the safest borders that we've ever had by far. And it's a good time to have it, too. And you know, Mexico is paying for the wall, just so you understand. They don't say that. They never say it. But we're going to charge a small fee at the border. You know, the toll booths. We have toll booths. It's the biggest border in the world in terms of people going across and in terms of industry. Believe it or not, the southern border. We're putting a small toll on, and maybe we're going to do something with remittance. That's where people come here, make money, and they send it back. So we'll do something, and we're going to get all the money that we spent on the wall will be coming back. So remember I used to say, who's going to pay for it? They'd say, Mexico. Right, that's right. That's right. Mexico's going to pay for it. And what happens if they fight us? Remember that answer? It's going to get 10 feet higher. Remember that? What happens if they fight us on the wall? The wall's going to get 10 feet higher. But now Mexico and I get along great. In fact, they have 27,000 soldiers along our southern border protecting us from people coming into our country. Can you imagine that? So, 27,000. And I did that so that we don't put tariffs on their products coming in. It was very simple. I said, you got to do it. And the president's been great. He's a friend of mine. He's doing a very good job. Not easy. Mexico's not easy. But he's doing a very good job. But the wall is almost completed, and it's a tremendous wall. It's everything that the Border Patrol people wanted. I gave them everything. I said, what else do you want? And it's wired for every single thing you could have. Remember the Democrats? We don't want a wall. We want drones flying. Oh, that helps us a lot, drones. So you can watch everybody pour into our country, right? Biden supports cutting police funding, and he has pledged to end cash bail. Just last week, Sleepy Joe proudly accepted the endorsement of the pro-criminal, anti-police Portland district attorney, who has a policy of releasing rioters, vandals, criminals, and violent extremists without charge. Now, last night, though, they arrested more than they've ever done because we said you have to. We said you have to. And we told them we will federalize them. We'll do whatever you need. And I spoke to the governor. It looks like they're finally, after 107 days, like they're finally doing what they're supposed to be doing. But we'll let you know very soon. Otherwise, we're going in. The Biden-Bernie manifesto pledges to implement these same policies nationwide. Now, you got to understand, Bernie's a radical lefty, but not as bad as her, but a radical left. And I got a lot of Bernie voters, I think 15% last time, because they agree with me on trade. They understand that many of these countries, including our so-called allies, are ripping us off. They're ripping us off on trade. I agree with him on that. The difference is I know how to do something about it. They don't. They don't have a clue. They just know they're being ripped off. And a lot of Bernie people feel that. That's a big point. And they came over and they voted for me instead of crooked Hillary, which was a very nice thing. We appreciate it. We hope we don't lose it. Because we've really implemented things. You know, we've taken in billions and billions and billions of dollars from China, and China's never given us 10 cents. It's a one-way street with China. They haven't given us. We signed a great trade deal, but the ink wasn't dry when the plague came in. So I view that trade deal as much differently than I did before, much differently. It's a great deal. They just last week, they ordered the biggest order of corn in history, the biggest order of soybeans in history. And I say, just shows you, though, they're smart, very smart. Instead of saying, you know, he's not talking very nicely about us and we're not going to order anymore, we're not going to do business. No. Instead, they do the opposite. They give us the biggest orders our farmers are very happy. Our farmers are very happy. Biggest order of corn, biggest order of beef, biggest order of soybeans. And I gave the farmers $28 billion because that's what you were targeted for by China. And I gave you 28 out of the tariffs, and we had tens of billions of dollars left over, which went into the U.S. Treasury. But nobody's ever done this before. Nobody's ever done this before. With Biden, it's the reverse. His son goes, sits down for 10 minutes with the father and whoever the hell they sat down with, walks out with $1.5 billion to manage. He'll make millions of dollars a year. And he has no experience at all. Never happened before. Biden's plan is to appease the domestic terrorists. My plan is to arrest them. So on November 3rd, America faces a very simple choice. Do what you want. Vote for the candidate backed by violent left-wing rioters if you have to. Or do what you want to vote for the candidate backed by the selfless heroes of law enforcement and just about everybody else. Wait till you see the numbers. Wait till you see the numbers. You know, there was a poll that just came out. I think it was Gallup. And it was a weird kind of a poll because it said 62% of the people that are polled are lying. I said, that's a big number, right? I think it was 62% a couple of weeks ago. It came out, and they're only lying if it's us because they don't want to be bothered. In other words, they're not lying about Sleepy Joe. They're lying about us. And I don't know if I'm supposed to love that or hate it. I don't know if it's an insult or not, but we'll take it. We don't give a damn. But if that's the case, we have a virtual landslide going. We have a virtual landslide going, and this would look like it. We're joined tonight by some really great friends of mine, representatives, senators, just some incredible people, people that have really helped me, and we have to get them in office. And let's start off with Senator Tom Tillis. Tom. Here's Tom. Thank you. He's been by my side. Thank you, Tom, very much. Representatives Greg Murphy, Virginia Fox, Mark Walker, Dan Bishop, and Ted Budd. What a group. What a group. What a group. Thank you, fellas. They're warriors. Boy, I'll tell you, those House guys, they were in there. They were fighting for us. We were 196-0, right? When Crazy Nancy impeached us, right? They impeached me for making a phone call that was perfect. It was a perfect call. I'll go down as the only president in history that got impeached for making an absolutely perfect phone call. Thank goodness I had the call because they totally misrepresented what was on the call. If you ever heard the shifty shift get up in Congress and say what I said, if I ever said that, it would have been terrible. But you know what? Fortunately, we had really talented people taking down everything word for word. We had the call perfectly. And if I didn't have it, somehow, with these people, I guess I'd still be here if you want to know the truth. But it was a lot easier. But we were 196-0. The Republicans stuck together. And Kevin McCarthy's done a fantastic job. He really has. And with the exception of a half a vote from Mitt Romney, you can have him. He's not too popular. I want to tell you, he's not a very popular guy in Utah. He's not too popular. So it's 52.5 to a half. He's a beauty, I'll tell you, that guy. He couldn't get elected dog catcher in Utah right now. Remember Utah, they said, it's too close to call. This was before the election. And then they announced, Utah, the polls are closed. Donald Trump has won the state of Utah. Do you remember that? Like immediately. I won by a lot. And there was some guy running, McMuffin, right? McMuffin, he was supposed to be second. Even Hillary beat him. What a group. Lieutenant Governor Dan Forrest. Dan, get out and vote for him. Get out and vote for him, okay? He'll be a great governor. He loves your state. He'll be a great governor. Tom is going to be a great, great senator for another 6 years. We need them both. And I hope you're going to do well, Dan. I know you're really getting up there. It's getting very close. I'll be honest. If this governor that you have, I know him, You know, we had to take our convention away. He said you're allowed to have 10 people in the arena, 10. Because it said one room, 10. You're not supposed to have political rallies. I said, you know the money that your state is going to be losing? But if this guy doesn't open up your state, because almost all of them are open now, if he doesn't open up your state, you have no choice. You're going to vote for him anyway, but Dan, you'll be so good. Dan Forrest, go and vote. The Republican nominee for North Carolina Attorney General, Jim O'Neill. Jim. Thank you, Jim. Where's Jim? Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. Good luck. Got to be careful with those ballots. Watch those ballots. I don't like it. You know, you have a Democrat governor. You have all these Democrats watching that stuff. I don't like it. I look at these crowds, and if they're going to cheat, crowds are meaningless. Really, if they're going to cheat, these big, beautiful crowds, you could have 15,000, you could have 50,000. These crowds are meaningless. Watch it. Be poll watchers when you go there. Watch all the thieving and stealing and robbing they do. Because this is important. We win North Carolina, we win. We're going to win Florida. I just left Florida. We're going to win Florida. And North Carolina Republican Party Chairman Michael Whatley. Great. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Great job. And a very good friend of mine, a great guy, Mick Mulvaney. Where's Mick? Oh, I didn't know Mick was here. Look at him. What a good guy. Thank you, Mick. Oh, we have a lot of big shots over there, I see. But what do you think about a guy named Mark Meadows, Chief of Staff? We love Mark. Doing a great job. He's doing a great job. And Robert O'Brien. Robert, how many hostages have you and I negotiated to get back? Not giving anything, but we have a record of what, Robert? 50? 50-0. We're 50-0 on hostages. We got them back. We got hostages back from countries that you never even heard of. And it's been pretty amazing. Robert, thank you very much. And thank you all for being here. Mick, it's good to see you. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. It's a very, very outstanding senator. Oh, I'm lucky I got to see that. Does everybody... we love South Carolina, right? Come here. Lindsey Graham, everybody. Lindsey Graham. Lindsey and Tim Scott, two great ones. Two great ones. They may be from a different state, but they love you, Lindsey. That's good. And Tim is another one. So we have just incredible people in the party. We've achieved more in 4 years than anyone ever thought possible, and that's driving them crazy. We passed massive tax cuts like nobody ever thought was possible for hardworking families, and we eliminated a record number of job-killing regulations, more than any president in history, whether it was 4 years, 8 years, or in one case more regulations. And to keep family farms in the family, we eliminated the unfair estate tax, also known as the death tax, on your small farms and businesses. Remember, that was a terrible thing. People were fighting for that. Your family lost the farm, lost their small business because they had to go and pay this ridiculous estate tax, or death tax as they call it. And now you don't have to worry about it. If you love your children, you leave it to them. If you don't love your children, then it doesn't matter what I did. Don't leave it to them. Give it to charity. Give it to something else. If they're not good to you, you don't love. But does anybody here not love their children? Please raise your hand. You. Nobody. Good. I love that. Oh, look at that one. You're going to love that one, I guarantee. I guarantee you're going to love that one. That's a keeper. That's a keeper. Right? That's great. You'll love that one. Someday in a long time from now, that beautiful child will not have to worry about estate taxes unless the Democrats do something in between, but we don't do that. No, but it was a terrible thing. You'd pass away and your kids would get the farm. They'd go out and borrow a lot of money because the estate tax was massive. that put big mortgages on the farm. They'd lose the farm. They'd lose the business. You don't have that anymore. It saved the U.S. auto industry by withdrawing from the last administration's job-killing catastrophe. The Trans-Pacific Partnership was a disaster. For half a century, Joe Biden shook hands with blue-collar workers, and then he turned around and immediately stabbed them in the back. Biden supported NAFTA, China's entry into the World Trade Organization, TPP, the South Korea disaster deal, and mass amnesty for illegal aliens. Think of it. But the big news, he's changed. He's changed. After 47 years, I've changed. I swear to you, I've changed. Did you see him in the debates? He was not too good, but that's okay. He was better against Bernie. Something's going on there. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. But he was better against Bernie. But in the other debates, he was giving them everything he wants, everything they want. Free health care for people that come into the country illegally, colleges, everything. Now the New Deal, under the New Deal, they get lawyers. If they come in to our country illegally, we supply them with legal advice. You believe it? Lawyers. This is what we need, is more lawyers. This state lost 43% of all manufacturing jobs after the twin disasters of NAFTA and China's entrance into the World Trade Organization. That's courtesy of Biden and his friends. Earlier this year, I kept my promise to North Carolina when we ended the NAFTA nightmare and we signed the brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement into law. It's been incredible. Everyone said impossible. They all said it was impossible to get done. We got it done. And it's a great deal. And it prevents people, it prevents companies from fleeing your state, opening up in Mexico or Canada, making a product, selling it to us with, it's such a disincentive to do that now. That was the thing that was most important to me. I used to hate when I see all these companies leaving our country, going to Mexico in particular, but Canada also, a lot of them going to Canada. And they'd make a product, everybody gets fired in our country, they close their business, and they make the same product in a different country, they send it back to us, no tax at the border, no tariff, no nothing. It doesn't work that way anymore. I took the toughest ever action to stand up to China's pillaging, plundering, ransacking, and rampant theft of North Carolina jobs and U.S. jobs. Joe Biden's agenda is made in China. My agenda is made in the USA. In the face of China's economic aggression, we provided a historic $28 billion in relief to our amazing farmers. I will always stand with American agriculture. These are the greatest people, the finest people, and we're not going to let others take advantage of them. You know, for 20 years, you look at a chart, it's just been this way for 20 years. Now it's going back up. I mean, it helped that I gave you $28 billion in all fairness, right? If I didn't do that, and I took it all from China, it was very easy. If I didn't do that, I think you wouldn't have any farmers right now, really. It was a difference between having farmers that are doing well and having no farmers. $28 billion over 2 years. They got hit. 1 year, $16 billion. 1 year, $12 billion. I said to Sonny Perdue, Secretary of Agriculture, great guy, an ex-farmer, governor of Georgia for 8 years, great guy. I said, Sonny, how much are they being targeted for? He said, sir, $12 billion for the year before. And last year, sir, it was 16. So I said, 28, okay, that's fine. I said, we will give them 28 billion. They were unfairly targeted. And that was in order to get me. And by the way, China wants Joe Biden so badly. Oh, they want, you know who else would like them very badly? Iran would like them very badly. Because I ended that Iran catastrophe that we paid $150 billion and $1.8 billion in cash. And you know what's going to happen? They're just waiting for the election because the country is going down the tubes. Their GDP went down 24%. Nobody ever heard of that before. Their country is in trouble. I don't want them to be in trouble. But they're going to wait till after the election. When I win the election, they're going to come to us and make a deal so fast. Watch how fast it'll be. They're dying to make a deal, but they do want to wait. Let's wait 2 months. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we're going to get lucky and Slow Joe gets in and we're going to make a great deal. No, they'll be in immediately after the election, and they'll make a deal. We'll make a fair deal with them. But what Obama did and Biden did with that horrible Iran deal. I ended last administration's war on American energy. Biden has pledged to end production of American oil, shale, clean coal, no fracking, wiping out millions of jobs and forcing us to buy energy from foreign polluters. We don't want to buy energy. We've done that for a long time, for decades and decades. We don't want to do that anymore. I like being energy independent, don't you? And I'm sure that most of you notice when you go to fill up your tank of gas in your car, oftentimes it's below $2. You said, how the hell did this ever happen? Thank you, President Trump. Right? Thank you, President Trump. And look at your electric bills, everything else. These guys, your electric would go up 4, 5, 6 times. The Green New Deal, it's called the Green New Nightmare. While I'm president, America will remain the #1 producer of oil and natural gas on earth, and we will remain energy independent. It should be for many, many years to come. Because the fact is, we don't have to be in the Middle East other than we want to protect Israel. We've been very good to Israel. But other than that, we don't have to be in the Middle East. We don't need, there was a time we needed desperately, or we don't need that anymore. We have more than they do. Isn't that nice? After years of rebuilding other countries, we are finally building our country. America first. It's America first. To bring hope to our inner cities, I created opportunity zones. I worked with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina. What a great guy he is. Passed criminal justice reform, prison reform, delivered permanent funding for historically black colleges and universities that Obama never did or couldn't do. And Biden. I call it O-Biden. O-Biden. It's too long to say Obama and, but just call it O-Biden. And before the China virus, we achieved the lowest African American, Hispanic American, Asian American unemployment rates ever recorded. And we're heading back to that level rapidly. Biden spent the last 47 years betraying African American voters. He betrayed them. Look at 1994. Take a look at that. He betrayed them, what he did to them. He closed the factories in Baltimore and sent them to Beijing. They were all sent to Beijing. So many people went there. They went to all parts of the world, but a lot went to Beijing. He shuttered the plants in Chicago and sent them to Shanghai. Unlike the previous administration, under my administration, we put America first. And actually, if we weren't interrupted with constant investigations that went nowhere, and nobody has been through what I've been through as President of the United States, nobody. They used to say Abraham Lincoln got the worst press. I said, there's no way he got worse than me. But Lincoln was very, very badly treated by the fake news. Maybe in his case it was real. I can tell you, in my case, it's fake. It's totally fake. But nobody's been, and it should never be allowed to happen again. Let's see what happens. We caught him cold. Let's see what happens. But if we didn't have to, that takes time and energy and all of the things, the time that we spent on this impeachment hoax, Nancy Pelosi with her hairdryer and the whole thing. Everybody has to wear a mask. You must keep all beauty parlors closed. Then she's in a beauty parlor with no mask. Oh. And then she said the biggest part. She could have said, okay. She would have said, you got me. But she said, I got set up by the beauty parlor owner, who happens to be a Trump person, by the way. I like the beauty parlor person. She said, I got set up by the owner of the beauty parlor. Now she set me up. I say, how are you going to do with Putin, Kim Jong-un, and President Xi of China? No, it's terrible. She's always preaching about the mask. You got to wear the mask at all times, indoor, outdoor. When you go to bed at night, put the mask on. I've spent the last 4 years keeping my promises and delivering for the African American community, and when I'm reelected, the best is yet to come, I'll tell you that. Perhaps in no area have our opponents more thoroughly betrayed working families of all backgrounds than on the subject of immigration. Under my administration, we've achieved the most secure border in American history. Now, I have to tell you that 300 miles of wall helps a lot. Remember, they said, walls are old-fashioned. They don't work. Really? I always say, and I've said it 4 or 5 times, I'll say it again if you'd like me to. 2 things if you come back in 1,000 years, 2,000 years, or 3,000 years. If you're lucky enough, assuming we have something with the world is a crazy place, isn't it? But if you come back in 1,000 years, there are 2 things with all the computers and all the everything changes every day. You invent a new cell. You invent a new laptop. Everything is obsolete, like about 2 weeks after you invent it, right? 2 things that will never get obsolete. The wall and the wheel, right? A wheel and a wall. Maybe I'm wrong, who knows? But I would say walls and wheels have a great future. We ended catch and release, stopped asylum fraud, and we've deported 20,000 gang members, including the radical MS-13. We invested $2.5 trillion in the United States military, all made in the USA, by the way. We have the newest, finest military we've ever had, and gave our great warriors their largest pay raises in many, many decades. We passed VA choice and VA accountability, which everybody said could not happen. And veteran satisfaction with the VA has just reached 91%, the highest satisfaction level in history. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal, as I said, and I kept my promise and recognized the true capital of Israel and opened the United States Embassy in Jerusalem. And then I recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights, and we achieved the first breakthrough in the Middle East peace for many, many decades. Even the New York Times said that was an amazing achievement. You believe that? I said, let me see that one. No, we did something that nobody thought was possible. And it's Israel, as you see and as you've read, Israel and UAE, highly respected leader, Mohammed, highly, highly respected. And now we have other countries in the Middle East. They all want to come in. It's going to be a beautiful picture. It's going to be a beautiful picture. We killed the vicious founder and leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. We killed him. Why didn't Biden get him? You know, they were after him for 8 years. They never got him. I got him. The world's #1 terrorist and the mass murderer of American troops, Qasem Soleimani. We got him too. Soleimani. Al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 worst terrorists in the world for many, many years, many decades. We kept America out of new wars, and we're bringing our troops back home. We're bringing them back home from all these faraway places. We spend hundreds of billions of dollars, and what do we get out of it? Biden voted for the Iraq war. He supported the defense sequester that gutted our military. He opposed the mission to take out Osama bin Laden. He opposed the killing of Soleimani. He oversaw the rise of ISIS. And for 8 years, he couldn't find or kill al-Baghdadi, the founder of ISIS. Couldn't find them. They looked. They couldn't find them. I found them, and we hit them good. We hit them good. And you saw the Mueller family on television. You saw that at the convention, what al-Baghdadi did with their beautiful daughter. And incredible how our troops handled that. You should see it. It was incredible. Biden also cheered the rise of China as a positive development for America and for the world. How are we doing with China? We just have the plague. We've had other plagues sent by them. I wonder if they did it on purpose. What do you think? Huh? I got to tell you, I was sailing to an easy election. This was going to be so easy, I probably would have not been here tonight. I would have said, no, we don't have to bother. This was going to be, now we have to work against a guy that doesn't know where he is. I can't believe it. When I banned travel from China, Biden called it hysterical and xenophobic. Do you remember that? I banned it. Everybody told me, no, you don't have to do that. But I said, we have to because Wuhan is very infected and they're coming here. So I banned it. Later on, it was said to be a great move. If we had listened to Joe, hundreds of thousands more Americans would have died. If Biden wins, China will own America, and it won't take long with his son Hunter walking out with all of that money with no experience whatsoever, no investment experience. He didn't even have a job. Joe Biden is weak and will always cave to China, who is strong. When the virus arrived, we launched the largest national mobilization since World War II. We're delivering life-saving therapies, and we have achieved some of the great numbers. The case fatality rates, we have the lowest of any major country in the world. People don't know that because the fake news doesn't want to write about it. Under Operation Warp Speed, we're producing a vaccine in record time. This is a vaccine that we're going to have very soon, very, very soon, by the end of the year, but much sooner than that, perhaps. And this is something that's incredible. This would have taken 2 or 3 years by the last administration, and in all fairness, by most other administrations. We have upped it to a level that nobody even believes is possible, and totally safe. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, rated the most liberal, are undermining science and risking countless lives with their reckless anti-vaccine rhetoric. That's what they're talking about. So now they know we have it. It's only a question of weeks or a small amount of time. So instead of saying that's a great thing, we're going to save lives, they're trying to disparage it. They're trying to make it politics. They're trying to do so. And now what's going to happen is we'll have it, and people won't want to take it. That's really bad, okay? That's really bad. But the Biden-Harris effort to spread anti-vaccine conspiracy theories only because they know we are close to putting it out, getting it out, and we're going to get it out fast. The vaccine will be safe. These are the greatest companies in the world that do this, the greatest labs, the greatest doctors. It'll be effective, and it'll be delivered before the end of the year. And maybe, as I said, much sooner than that. Joe Biden's plan to impose a blanket shutdown would collapse our economy and cause countless deaths from suicide, drugs, alcohol abuse, heart disease, and much more. And that's what you're in right now. You're in a shutdown. It's crazy. I've been to many states. They're not in shutdowns, and they're doing better. They're doing better. Somebody's got to speak to this man, Dan. Maybe you got to talk to him, Dan. Go in a little early and say, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. They're hurting our people. North Carolina has to open up. By contrast, my administration is following the science, protecting those at highest risk while allowing those at lower risk to safely return to work and to school. Go back to school. Go back to school. You ever see the statistics on young people? I don't know. They have a great immune system. Let's get some of that immune system. But they're amazing. I mean, thousands and thousands of people, and they're not even affected, very little, meaning a small percentage of 1%. It's an incredible thing. Nobody knew that when it first came here. Nobody assumed a thing like that was possible. But young people are very strong against this horrible disease. Through our historic China virus relief programs, we've saved more than 1.3 million jobs for North Carolina workers. That worked out great. We provided $380 million in relief for North Carolina farmers and made $10 million in PPP loans to save your state's tobacco growers. We saved your tobacco growers. We have them very much in our sights. We want to help them. The Biden agenda would crush this comeback and put our families in grave danger. Biden is promising to reimpose job-destroying regulations. We got rid of more regulations. He wants to put those regulations back plus 50%. You couldn't build a road. We took roads from 18, 19, and even 20 years approval down to 2, and we'll have it down to 1. And you may get rejected for a highway or for a road, but you're going to know in the period of 12 months to 24 months. You're not going to spend an entire lifetime and then have them raise their hand. I know all about it from the real estate business. We brought it all the way down. He wants to give illegal aliens government health care and taxpayer-funded lawyers, establish a national sanctuary city policy for illegal aliens with criminal records. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, this stuff is not even really believable, but it is what it is. He wants to surge refugee admissions by 700% into our country, flooding your towns with poorly vetted migrants, including many from jihadist regions of the world. Biden opposes school choice. He opposes North Carolina opportunity scholarships. And he has stated that if he is elected, charter schools are gone. He said they're gone. And they've been incredible. In a second term, I'll provide school choice to every parent in America. And we'll also take good care of our teachers. Our teachers are very, very important to me. Very important. Nothing more important. A vote for Republicans is a vote for safe communities, great jobs, and a limitless future for all Americans. And just in finishing, I have to say that over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world, and we will end our reliance on China once and for all. We'll make our medical supplies right here in the United States. We will enact fair trade deals that create American jobs and grow American wages. We are going to bring our companies back home where they should be, and I've been doing a lot of it, but we are going to do it at a level that nobody ever thought possible. We will rapidly return to full employment, soaring wages, and record prosperity. We will hire more police, increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, surge federal prosecutors into high-crime communities, and ban all sanctuary cities. We will protect government benefits for American citizens, not for illegal aliens. What you're doing when you have all of these advantages, when you're giving them free health care and free lawyers and free college and free everything, they all come. They didn't think of coming, but they see this. They talk, and they talk to their friends, and they all come in. They want to come to America. You're just bringing people in, and we don't want to do that. We want people to come to our country, but they have to come in through merit, and they have to come in legally. Very simple. We will appoint prosecutors, judges, and justices who believe in enforcing the law, not their own political agenda. We will ensure equal justice for citizens of every race, color, religion, and creed. We will defend the dignity of work and the sanctity of life. We will uphold religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms. We will strike down terrorists who threaten our citizens, and we will keep America out of endless, ridiculous foreign wars. We'll build up our military like it's never been built up before. We need our military for other reasons. We will have the strongest we have now. When I took over, our military was depleted. We have a lot of military people here. Our military was depleted. Our planes were 50 years old. Now you have brand new, beautiful F-35s. We have brand new rockets and missiles. And hopefully we never have to use them. I will say that. But the best way of not having to use them is to have them. If you have them, we learned that in the schoolyards, right? We learned that in the schoolyards. The best way is to have them. We have the strongest military we've ever had by far. We'll end surprise medical billing, require price transparency, which I've already signed into law, which, by the way, kicks in on January 1st. You better elect me, North Carolina. I did price transparency, and I've cut the price. Drugs are going to start going down at levels nobody's ever seen. Favored nations. Yeah. So we did price transparency, kicks in January 1st. Could you imagine if this guy's president and your prices start going way down, hospitalization, doctors, you can choose your own doctor, unlike with Obama, right? Prices going way down. January 1st, I said, couldn't you start it sooner? But statutorily, that's when it had to start. Could you imagine if this guy's in and prices start dropping like a rock? And they'll say, what a great president he is. He would have never done it. And your drug prices, prescription drug, I'm instituting favored nations clauses, so we're going to pay what other nations pay at the lowest end. And you're going to get back rebates that we were given to middlemen who have to be the richest people in the world. We'll protect Medicare and Social Security, and we will protect your Social Security. And we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions, always, always. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. Very exciting. You know, we reopened NASA. That place was gone. They had grass growing out of the runways. You had to see it. Now it's the #1 space center in the world by far. By far. You see what's going on there. You see what's going on. We will restore patriotic education to our schools. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Look at you. This is a very sophisticated group, Tom. You know what I'm talking about, patriotic education. Well, the first thing they do is they want to take your history away. That's a great group behind me. I don't know. They're activists. No, but you know what? You know what it means. They want to take away your history. That's why the monuments and the statues, they want to knock them down. The first thing they do is take away your guts. You know, it's guts. They take away your guts. They take away your statues. They take away your heroes. They take away your great generals. They take away your past. And I said it was going to happen. I said, you know what? They started off with generals and colonels and others that nobody ever heard of, and I thought that was bad. And then they went up a little bit, and I said, you know, someday it's going to be Robert E. Lee, someday it's going to be Washington, someday it's going to be Lincoln, someday it's going to be Jefferson, someday it's going to be Benjamin Franklin. It's all of them. It's all of them. They take away your past. They're never taking away our past. They're never taking away our past. But that's the way they do it. You study it. That's the way they go. They take away your guts. And we'll teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." This is better than the arenas, I have to say. Especially when you have a crowd like this. But they're like this. They have such spirit in this country. People love our country so much. I went to Texas, I went to Ohio, I went to Florida. It's always like this. They love our country. And we're not going to disappoint anybody. We're not disappointing them. For years, you had a president who apologized for America. So you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the people of North Carolina. This is the most important election in the history of our country, and I wouldn't say that lightly. And frankly, I thought the last one was, and I said it, but they've gone to a level that nobody even thought possible. These people have gone stone cold crazy. And you know what? After we get in, we're going to have tremendous success. And it was building. We were at a point, we were so successful before the plague came in from China. We were so successful that we were starting to get together. People forget. We were starting, success brings people together. It was so good. Our jobs numbers were so good. And whether it was the black community, the Hispanic community, the Asian community, our jobs were so good. Our numbers were so good. We were getting together. And then the plague came in and we had to stop, we had to close it up, we had to open it and start all over again. And, you know, if you would have told me that we have one of the highest stock markets, some of the stock markets have already broken every record. You look at NASDAQ, you look at some, we're far ahead of what I had planned. We're far ahead of schedule. But we did it once, we have to do it again because this was an unforeseen event, a terrible event, a horrible event. So many people died. Nobody should have died, not one person. So many people died. But if we didn't do it right, we would have lost millions of people. And just a terrible thing. But oftentimes I say, bring people together. And then I realized, if you look at that last few months, we were starting to come together. I was getting calls from, you won't believe it, Democrats. I was getting calls from Democrats. And they were sort of saying, well, things are going really well. It was starting to happen. And now we have to get it back to a level of great success because it'll happen again. There'll be great unity. Eventually, there'll be great unity. So get your friends and get your family, get your neighbors and your co-workers and vote. And I say this because it's from Charlotte to Kitty Hawk, from Durham to Asheville, and from Wilmington to right here in Winston-Salem. We inherit the legacy of North Carolina patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears for this beloved nation. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the oceans, blazed the trails, settled a continent, tamed the wilderness, dug out the Panama Canal, laid down the railroads, revolutionized industry, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America the single greatest nation in the history of the world. And we are making it greater than ever before. Proud and great citizens like you helped build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of North Carolina, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, North Carolina. Thank
you. The level of enthusiasm, the level of enthusiasm is unmatched. Good luck competing with that kind of energy, Sleepy.